Greetings, y'all. Greetings. I'm back with an early morning episode of the Frontline Black News. And I'm your host, Chan Krumah. I had to finish off where we left off last night because I had the itis and I just couldn't go out like that. So, this is season 6, episode 1, part 2, continuation of the Frontline Black News. And on this season 6, episode 1, part 2, continuation of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing several topics we didn't get to in part 2, and that is how Sunday best beat the white gaze. President Trump meets with Zohran Mamdani, mayor-elect of New York City. Mamdani embraces Trump while Marjorie Taylor Greene distances herself. Johnny Marcel defends Texas A&M trooper who assaulted black players like Nycc Harbor. The black conservative bootlicks are down bad. Pras from the Fugees, Pras Michel, convicted. Will Haitians ride for him? Haitian American U.S. representative indicted for stealing millions. Is this a black issue? And if we have time, Professor James Small, we are all Africans, he says. Malcolm X, Tribalism, and the truth Black America must hear in a reaction to what he said. And we are based out of East Denver, North Aurora, Colorado. We get the news from a frontline and Black First perspective. We are also a part of the Frontline Black News and are also the signal boosters of the new Black Media. We are also a part of the new Black Media and also the signal boosters of the new Black Media. We have been around for 5 seasons now and counting, and we have several platforms that are a part of the Frontline campaign. The Frontline Black News is the first one. We started back in 2020, 2021. And then Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced is based off the 50th anniversary of the founding of the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. We started on Blog Talk Radio in 2016 and have been around for 10 seasons, or 11 seasons now, 11 seasons now. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced covers the Black experience from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago, and is also a part of the Frontline campaign. It has recently, within the last 2 years, moved from Blog Talk Radio to StreamYard. Please make sure you like and share the show, FBA Black Family. Join us on StreamYard, YouTube, Frontline Black News. The links to all of our channels are in the description, including Frontline Black News, Frontline Black News 2. Definitely sub up to Frontline Black News 2 because that's the backup channel, just in case they try to take down Frontline Black News 1. If we are on 2 strikes, and you know what they say, like in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. But the same applies for YouTube. Then we got my personal page, Jesse Paris, aka Chan Krumah. I'm sure y'all sub up to that as well. Get the latest on happenings here in Denver and surrounding. And then we got the Revolutionary Agenda, Lady Chase channel. Make sure y'all sub up to her channel as well. Please show her love because she's been getting seriously neglected. So please sub up to the Revolutionary Agenda. That link is also in the description. And then Jay Militant's What's Cracking TV with Jay Militant. His link is in the description. Kool Keezy, our brother who does the intro track usually for the Frontline Black News. His link is in the description. The Church of Black Power, our brother out of Watts, California, who's now in Houston, Texas. His link is in the description. And last but certainly not least, our young brother out of the Midwest, Black Truth United. His link is also in the description. And he has the B1 Rolodex. The link to that, I should post it in here. I didn't post it in here though, but I should start doing that. But the B1 Rolodex, which is like the green book for FBA businesses, he's the one that started that. So make sure y'all check that out at what is it called? At blacktruthunited.com. And then we got signed the petition for reparations, change.org petition. And we got several GoFundMes. Just laid to rest our brother Black Voltron Reloaded out of the town, as they call it, Oakland. His GoFundMe's in the description. The brother that was expelled or withdrawn from the Texas University for mocking the death of racist white supremacist Charlie Kirk. His GoFundMe is in the description. Our brother out of South Carolina, Greg Marshall Dixon, who ran against Jimbo Jangles Clybourne. His GoFundMe for his case against the state board or the city board, school board, education in South Carolina. His link is also in the description for his GoFundMe. And then we have the Chicago family whose mom was attacked by students. Their GoFundMe is in the description. And last but certainly not least, we got Lady Chay's GoFundMe. Her link is in the description. And Puke 2, we got copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I do not own the rights to the music. And if you don't understand racism and white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. In all 9 areas of people or human activity, and that is economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, and some say health and nutrition. And that was by Mr. Nelly Fuller Jr., our elder, now ancestor, who transitioned back in February of this year, 2025, producejustice.com. And when you, a Black person, are captured by any race soldier, you must never fuss, fight, or flee. Comply and defend yourself in court. Also by the great Nelly Fuller Jr. He didn't like to be called great, so I'm just going to say Mr. Nelly Fuller Jr., producejustice.com. And last but certainly not least, we got racism and white supremacy as conscious and subconscious behavior to maintain white genetic survival, to prevent white genetic annihilation. And that was also by the elder, now ancestor, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, who transitioned back in January of 2016. And our good brother Tariq Nasheed out of Los Angeles, California, paid for her funeral, along with several other of the elders that passed away around that time. So shout out to Tariq for that. So those are the topics. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Frontline Black News. So I'm gonna hop right into it with, why do we get dressed up so much on Sunday mornings? Yeah, it has something to do with church, but it's a deeper meaning behind it. So our brother Country Boy is going to give us an update on that. Salute to Crew, I see you in here. Salute to Twin Pyramid, I see you in here. Salute to Mac 285. Both of them are our hype men, so we appreciate them always tapping in. We see Breeze Omega in the building. Salute, B1 salute, certified salute to you. We see also to his channel too. He has some real good commentary over there and a lot of humor. And let's see, it's just a good laid back time over there. Crew's in the building. Make sure y'all sub to Crew's channel as well. Yep, the 9 areas of human activity or people activity. Yeah, that Ninja Clybourne. Yep, Mr. Nelly Fuller Jr., Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. Yep, and that there is a deeper meaning. And we're about to get into it. Let me share my screen. Let me find where my cue is. Here it is. All right. Here we go. So, brother Country Boy from One Mic History is going to give us an update on how Sunday Best beat the white gays.
Your Sunday best was more than clothes. It was armor, the press and curl on Saturday, the sharp suit on Sunday. It wasn't for the suits. They were more than clothing. They were a day for God. This is One Black History. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at OneMicHistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. For our ancestors in bondage, clothing was rationed and rough, but many saved one fabric for worship, wedding, funerals, and Easter. They called it Sunday clothes or sometimes Easter finery. That second set stood for more than fabric. It was a fresh start, a hope for freedom, and a way to hold your head up in a world that told you to bow down. Putting on your best was one of the few choices that you could control. You could say, with your body and your clothes, that I'm more than the labor that you forced upon me. Even back then, English speakers had wrote about Sunday clothes, and our people took that idea and gave it a deeper meaning, saying that clothes are dignity and clothes are prayer. After emancipation, the Black church became the center of community life, spiritually, socially, politically. Black women led the way by setting the standards. They told us to be clean, neat, and modest, not to impress your neighbors, but to make a public statement. They called it the politics of respectability. That meant your public behavior, how we dress, how we carried ourselves, was tied to our own self-respect and our push for equal treatment. Sunday school teachers and missionary circles then taught this code to children. Women wore hats and gloves, men wore suits and hard bottoms, and ushers and missionaries wore white, showing purity and order. They discouraged what they called gaudy colors and conspicuous trimmings because they were fighting ugly stereotypes. The message was simple and strong. God made me, God doesn't make junk. Sunday best was meant to be a testimony before the sermon ever started. So, for Black men, Sunday best was like armor. Think suits and ties and hats and a sharp that you could see from across the street, and shoes so polished that you could see yourself in them. The Sunday barbershop ritual mattered. The lineup, the beard, the conversation about life and the week ahead. In the 1940s, young men stepped out in their finest. In the cities, zoot suits exploded with broad shoulders, draped pants, and it was style, and plays. It drew heat.
I'm glad he brought up the zoot suits because those goddamn Latinos try to take credit for that too. No, we was rocking zoot suits back in the 20s, the 19 teens, the 1920s, and the 1930s. Them damn Latinos didn't start rocking them until after they seen us do it. I just want to stop for that.
Policemen and servicemen, and that said a lot about how powerful dress could be. Wearing your best told the world that my worth is not up for debate. It helped you get respect on the street, at work, and dealing with the police. It said that I should respect better. During this Jim Crow era, looking proper was not just pride, it was protection. White society attempted to paint Black people as unkempt and uncivilized. Sunday best was a daily answer to that lie. On streetcars and trains and courtrooms and shops, appearance was a shield. People learned to move with reserve to keep a dignified bearing, especially Black women who faced constant insult and threat. It was a painful reality. You shouldn't have to dress a certain way to be treated as human, but many did what they had to stay safe. And there was strategy in this conduct too. On many segregated streetcars, folks followed the rules of polite behavior deliberately, not because they believed in segregation, but to hold the moral high ground. If someone rushed the door or acted rude, you could outlast them with grace. Your clothing and posture spoke louder than words. Acquiring your Sunday best took a little hustle. Local stores often refused service or gave poor treatment, so we had to get creative. Within the Sears catalog, we bought suits and dresses and hats by mail, and layaway plans made quality possible. Black tailors and seamsters turned cloth into confidence, and beauty salons and barbershops powered this ritual. The press and curl on Saturday night, a fresh cut before service, those spaces were more than businesses. They were cultural carriers in Black meeting rooms. Magazines like Ebony and Jet also shaped the look. Easter issues were events. Photo spreads showed crisp, white dresses, bold hats, new suits, smiling families. They didn't just reflect style, they helped set it. Seeing ourselves beautiful and put together on glossy pages mattered. It told us and the world, this is who we are. So if you close your eyes and picture your Sunday best, the first thing you would see is the hat. Church hats were more than fashion. They were crowns, they were joy, status, and a little holy drama. They turned a pew into a runway and a sanctuary into a celebration. Yet, men showed respect by removing their hats when they came indoors. And all of this was part of the code. They kept order and honored the moment. And those white gloves on ushers, they wore them for three simple reasons. First, cleanliness. Gloves signal that you care for God's house and the people in it. Second, visibility. In a crowd, a white gloved hand was easy to spot when you needed help. And third, order and service. The glove was a symbol that says, I am here to serve you with dignity. And this fits the larger tradition of dress as respect and dress as testimony. So style always moves, and so does faith. 1940s zoot suits rattled elders. 1913, churchwomen pushed back against slashed skirts and low necklines. And in 1960s, radical hair and hip garments and natural hair shouted Black pride. Later, some churches said that you need to come as you are. And now you might see sneakers and suits and locks with hats and bright colors that once would have raised eyebrows. These shifts sparks debates across generations, and some fear that we're losing the code meant to a standard. Others say that your heart is what matters most. Through it all, the same core purpose is kept beating: show reverence, carry yourself with pride, and reflect the community that you love. Through all of this, Black women kept so the small businesses, beauticians and barbers and seamstresses and photographers. The look also became a uniform of nonviolent protest. Think Coretta Scott King marching in a tweed suit and pearls, and think Martin Luther King in a tie and coat facing down dogs and batons. Clothes sent a message before the chant started that we're serious, we're disciplined, and we belong. Taking inspiration from the tradition, you'll see sharp tailoring and big joyful shapes on the runways. And the younger generation is posting "Get ready with me" while I go to church videos on social media. 20 protests. Some organizers even ask people to wear their Sunday best to marches to reframe the narrative. So why does any of this still matter? Because people ask, is it the Sunday best just vanity? And it's not. It's heart. It's about reverence and self-respect and community pride. And it marks milestones: Easter, baptism, homegoings, graduations. It connects us to an old story, from bondage to dignity, from Jim Crow to a people who refuse to be defined by hate. Sunday best was not about shaming anyone who can't dress up. It's about choice and meaning. You can honor God in jeans, and you can honor God in silk. Tradition simply says, show up with care and intention, and show up knowing that you're somebody. Here's the truth. When this country pushed us down, our people stood up straighter. When lies told us that we were less than, our people sent an empty show. It was strategy and survival. It was joy. There's a reason Easter hats make us smile. There's a reason that a sharp suit makes a Black man stand taller. It's not the cloth. It's the story sewn in.
No, you've been a bad boy. You got yourself locked in there. I try to get you out and you try to scratch me. Sorry, the B1 kitty is acting a fool. Yeah, so shout out to the country boy. This is exactly why we do the Sundays best. I got a shitload of dress clothes that I would normally wear on Sundays, and definitely when I was campaigning, we always wondered why we did that, and now we know why we did that. I still do that. Get clean cut, get clean shaven, and go to church with Mama and Grandmama. They stayed in their Sunday's best. So they taught it to us and we passed it on. So that's why we do what we do. That's definitely an FBA thing. No other group. Straight up FBA. That's what we do. Is on Sunday and on Easter, we put on the best fits we can put on. So, and that's because we had to endure so much racism, white supremacy, especially in the South during the Jim Crow era, and antebellum slavery. So there's definitely a big history behind that. So shout out to Country Boy for that. So in other news, the dump, as in human shit, and I want to make that perfectly clear. Donald Trump decided that he was going to meet with that communist socialist Manziel from Uganda, who claimed that he was African American when he was in college. He met with him. No, Aurora, you're not getting out. I try to get you out, and you try to scratch me. Oh no! I hear him. He's meowing away. Yep, it's Monday. I'm in my room, not fresh, but still fresh. Yeah, you got some root work, so yeah, you definitely fresh. Yeah, so Mamdani decided that he was gonna meet with Trump after he talked all that stuff about Trump. As you can see, these politicians, it's all political theater. They talk all this crap about each other, and then they're sitting up there at the country club together, at the golfing together, and going to the White House to visit each other together. So it's very hilarious. So I'm gonna play like 3 clips from that. Yep, cruising the building breeze. This loud is definitely fresh. Yeah, if you smoking on some loud, that's what's up. If you hear the meowing, this Aurora, he's been a bad boy, so he locked himself in the laundry basket. Facts, they hanging together in plain sight. Yeah, so we're about to get into that. Mamdani meets with Trump in Oval Office.
He ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some rough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built. And it was going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from Walmart. Said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for the better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make every.
That'd be dope. If you, Sincere, Keezy, and Breeze did a track, that would be dope as shit. Let's make it happen.
Everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I had a question for you and then also one for Mayor-elect.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now.
I asked him about Rakim. He was like, he's all right. I'm like, what? Rakim's the god MC. He's like, not to me. I don't really like his music. I was like, oh, man, you can't be serious. And he said he don't like East Coast rappers. New York East Coast rappers, but I respect y'all. Just not my style. But I would love to do a track with y'all or an album. That would be super dope. If I did an album or a track, that would be super dope. I didn't know Keezy spit, but I should have known. Yeah, he definitely spits. He used to do the intro track. I used to play the intro track when I was on the paid subscription. He's the one that did the Democrats don't speak for me, speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me, speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me, speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Yeah, that was him, crew. Too many tethers in New York. Biggie original tether. Yeah, there's a lot of it's tether central. No lie about that. Keezy on the beats. Yep. Keezy could do some dope ass beats. All producers could spit better than rappers, period. Yeah. Some dope producers, yep. You can spit too. So yeah. That'd be dope if y'all did an album or a track. All four of y'all on the track. Oh my god, that'd be straight fire. And Breeze is a producer as well, so yeah, I can get it done. Yep, Kanye, for example. Yeah. I still got that college dropout. That was my shit. And it was Graduation. Those are my two favorite albums from Kanye. Especially that song he did with Jeezy off that Graduation. That was my shit. Wait till I get my money right. You can't tell me nothing. Shit. All right, let me get back to this. Yeah, see, we got 3-4 producers on an FBA track. Wow, yeah, that'd be dope. If I did a track together, that shit would definitely go, I don't know, platinum. I don't know if they even still have platinum records, but it definitely would go big. So that's smooth. Sorry, check back to it, yeah. Smooth B from Nice and Smooth still wants me to record with him. That'd be dope too. I remember Nice and Smooth. They was dope back in the day. They was definitely dope back in the day. Yeah, let me get back to Mamdani meeting with the dump. So now they're asking them all these questions and listen to the responses that Mamdani and Trump give is fucking hilarious.
Quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on something. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said it would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Mr. President, I'm Michel from Manziel, Lebanon.
Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding you did said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is with minors unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like what do you say for the Lebanese today? State Lebanon. And what is your next move to push for this?
Sure. Well, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or $21 trillion. I think that Hezbollah and Lebanon, big problem. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East. And we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it. And I think you're going to see some very positive things happen. Oh, sure. Oh, I would do that. Absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here, that meeting, because I think it's very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it. And that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again 2 major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that.
Send federal troops to New York City. You both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. They're called ICE, a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out. And I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not.
So you know what that means? Another crime bill. Dun, dun, dun. And more stop and frisk and all that madness. So get ready, New Yorkers, especially black New Yorkers. It's really about to go down. It's Trump talking about, because remember, he's the law and order president, like Richard Nixon. So if he's talking about he want crime down and all that shit, that means more police, more surveillance, and more ICE, which is not a bad thing because they need to get them goddamn tellers up out of there. But more police, more stop and frisk, all of that is coming.
Safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else. We can talk about anything. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So work together. We're going to make sure that if horrible people there, we want out. I think he wants to come out maybe more than I do. So we'll work together. We discussed it at great length. Yes, please.
Yeah, 2 questions, if I may. One for you, instructor from BBC. But first of all, to the mayor there. I just wondered to what extent the president's campaign style, his techniques, his social media, inspired any part of your
Well, I actually told them the cost of living crisis. And when we asked those New Yorkers who had voted for the president, when we saw an increase in his numbers in New York City, that came back to the same issue: cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they spoke about the cost of groceries, the cost of rent, the cost of Con Ed, the cost of childcare. And too often politicians are looking to lecture to New Yorkers what they should care about as opposed to listen. And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focused on that same cost of living, and that's where I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And I think we have to work a little bit. We talked about Con Edison. We have to work a little bit on getting the prices because, you know, we've gotten fuel prices way down, but it hasn't shown up in Con Edison. And we're going to have to talk to them. You know, if we're saying sending them fuel at a much lower price than it was a year ago is true, we have to get Con Edison to start lowering the rates.
Absolutely.
And if I may, last week you told me bringing ahead with CBDC for up to $5 million. You're going to speak to Prime Minister Starmer as well. Is there any progress or any update?
Well, we get along very well with the Prime Minister. We made a deal with UK. I like him. He's a fine person. And, you know, I think they have some big energy problems. You know, they've got windmills all over the place. They're going to have to start using other methods because their energy is out of control. I'm talking about in the UK. It's out of control. And he's got that problem. He's got a big immigration problem, as you know, and he's got a big energy problem. And we talk about it. He's a good man. The Prime Minister's a good man.
You had a chance to speak this week.
I haven't spoken this week.
Mr. President, have you spoken to President Zelensky about your plan?
I've spoken with their people. We have a plan. It's horrible what's happening. It's a war that should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president, and it's a shame. And I thought they should have acted quicker. But it's a cold winter, and a lot of the you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy-producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. We have a way of getting peace. We think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. It's so sad. So many people. You know, last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something we haven't seen anything like this since the Second World War. They're averaging 6 or 7 a week, the two of them, dead soldiers, and it goes on and on. And I think they're getting reasonably close, but I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including in India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week or two, go to the Congo and Rwanda. That was 10 million people dead, and we worked something out on that, but so many. And the one I thought would have been, for me, because I have a very good relationship with President Putin, I thought that would have been maybe quicker. It does take 2 to tango. And now you just see all the death. And, you know, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people that really, so the other side of the ocean. It's a war that should have never happened. It did happen. I blame the person also sitting right behind this desk. This is a war that should have never happened, and it wouldn't have happened if I were president. But we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25,000 lives over the last short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian. And it's a shame.
What happened to I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say
okay.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't know.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask you also about this Ukraine plan.
Yeah.
President Zelensky said today that his country would risk either giving up a partner or giving up its dignity. There's been criticism that this deal...
You mean he doesn't like it?
It's unclear. He was sort of...
Well, he'll have to like And if he doesn't like it, then, they should just keep fighting, I guess,
The suggestion that you made, though, was that if he doesn't accept it, that the U.S. would pull back its support for Ukraine.
Well, at some point, he's going to have to accept something. He hasn't accepted. You remember right in the Oval Office not so long ago, I said, you don't have the cards. Don't forget, I inherited this war. This war never would have happened. I inherited this war. And I thought he should have made a deal a year ago, 2 years ago. The ultimate deal would have been if it never started. That would have been a good deal. That could have been done too if you had the right president, but you didn't have the right president.
Mr. President, cost of living is something that you and Mr. Mamdani seem to agree on.
Right.
Democrats have run New York City for a long time, Mr. Mamdani. Do you see Democrat policy specifically as being the problem? And I'd like that to be a question that both of you can answer in your city.
Look, I think that there are many things in our city where we have to own the responsibility of it, things that existed long before the president was the president. And those are also part of the message of our campaign, was to take on a broken politics of the past. And I ran against a number of candidates who represented different versions of that past. And what we found time and again is that working people were left behind in the politics of our city. And what we're looking to do is put those people right back at the heart of our politics so that we don't have a situation where we're in the wealthiest city in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 5 can't even afford $2.90 for a Metro card.
Mr. Morris,
We had some.
Hey, Che, I think you're on mute, man.
You see how Trump just dictating
You
this?
see, he said he's going to have to accept it.
No.
He said, I don't care if he said he, gonna have to accept it. He doesn't have the cards. He's going to have to accept it. I was, what? Nigga, that's gangster. Yeah. That's what Michael Jackson told Oprah. Like, you going to have to accept it. I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm black. What you mean?
You going to have to, like American. What you mean?
Bro, he said, well, I don't care if he accepts it or not. He's going to have to accept it. What? That sounds kind of prison-y, doesn't it? That's giving prison vibes, don't it? He's like, you're going to have to accept. And look, no, but look, and then, look how Trump is sitting in his chair.
Yeah.
And dude just standing right next to him. Like, Trump ain't even worried about him standing behind him or nothing, because if he make a move, you see George Washington right behind him.
Yeah.
You see the other presidents right behind him, just about to. Yeah. Zohran, you're just here. You're just here as an example.
Exactly.
The biggest city in the United States. You just got elected, and you're my handmaiden.
Pretty much.
Like, you're my handmaiden.
Yeah, that's how he set it around, like he's the help.
Right. Like, wipe my ass. Bring me some tissue or something. Oh, I went to shit and oh, the bathroom ain't got no toilet tissue. Oops. Hey, go grab that for me. Like, that's what he's standing around for.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got this.
Right?
I'll answer it for you.
Like, he about to use his mouth on it. Like, oh, no. But like, he's standing there like he finna bring him a grape or something.
Yeah.
Like, feed him grapes and shit. Like, what?
Right.
Look, Trump is sunning the hell out this nigga.
Yeah, he is.
He's sunning the hell out this one.
Yeah, Breeze, that's gangster as hell.
No, I'm sorry, Che. You see how I was going crazy in the chat?
Yeah.
I just wanted to wait because I didn't want to interrupt your stream and shit. I wanted you to keep, but I'm like, man, I can't. Let me just hit the enter button and jump on the stream. See, I got my fresh suit on.
You got your Sunday best on. Yeah.
That's not even Sunday best. That's Monday normal.
That's
Monday normal. But this is like a year ago. But yeah, that's how I be on Mondays. You know what I'm saying?
Looking mighty distinguished there.
Hey, they see me and my dad walking around downtown. They think we're feds.
Yeah.
They think we coming to arrest them. Men in black and shit. My dad looks just like me. I'll show you a picture of me and him later on. But
all right, let me
I just
continue.
don't. You know how I be, man.
Yeah.
You know how I be. So I just want to interrupt your stream and shit. But I had to get on here just because of how Zohran is looking with Trump.
Yeah.
He's looking like Aladdin and shit. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Your wish is my command.
Right. Bring the carpet around. Bring the flying carpet around, nigga.
Right.
Thing on cost, you know, the new word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. You know, it's sort of an old-fashioned word, but it's very accurate.
We got Mr. Ish in here too.
You know, we had, both of us, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country the last 4 years. Down now to a normal number. It's going to go even a little bit lower than that. Katie, do you have something?
Mr. President, thank you so much. Mr. Mamdani often talks about New York City being covered by international law, that they will follow international law.
Hey, Tay, you might want to mod up Mr. Ish. Mr. Ish is on point. He be on point. I be hearing.
It's covered by a lot of laws, but it's covered by U.S. law. Are you referring to anything in particular?
You just said that there are a city that endorses and enforces.
Do you want to respond?
Yeah, I think what I've shared with the president is our desire to not only follow the laws of our own city, laws that protect New Yorkers, but also a desire for consistency in our politics across the board. And that's something that we've talked about and something that I know many New Yorkers want. We discussed ICE and New York City, and I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on
flying carpet twin.
boroughs, and mostly we're talking a mother and her 2 children, how this has very little to do
Where's
with
Jasmine?
What we did is we discussed crime more than ICE per se. We discussed crime, and he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime. And I have very little doubt that we're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to, and he said something very interesting as to housing construction, and he wants to see houses go up. He wants to see a lot of houses created, a lot of apartments built, etc. And you know, we actually people would be shocked, but I want to see the same thing.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters.
Jack,
I want to know one of the policies as well that Mamdani talked about.
Notice he said people would be shocked. Nobody said, "Oh, people would be shocked," like that fucking girl the other day, right? I'm going to sue you. No, I'm going to shoot you. What do you mean?
Yeah. That shit was hilarious. Yeah, people would be shocked. Yeah, because there's another crime bill coming.
Because he said people would be shocked, right? But nobody said people would be shot. You get me? Like that Nigerian. I'm going to sue you. Well, I'm going to shoot you too. Hold on. Wait. Nobody even said that. Well, what? You just taking it from 0 to 10 right there. What?
Right.
Hey, no, Chase. I'm going to say you probably want to mod up Mr. Ishmael. Mr. Ish is he be on Tyrese shit. He be on other streams.
Okay.
Like that motherfucker got knowledge.
I seen him on the Sustained Up the God. Yeah, Mr.
Ish is B1. He's one of us. I ain't gonna tell you how to do it.
I'm already aware. Yeah, he'll get a wrench. I gotta go to the Frontline Black News page to wrench him up though.
Okay. My bad. I ain't trying to tell you how to do your channel and shit. You know,
or Christians or white people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys have spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform, because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another wait that we see in our city.
You're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear, no, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Please go ahead.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters just targeted a synagogue in New York. Are you concerned about Jewish New Yorkers feeling welcome and safe in the city? And President Trump, you threatened to call federal funding to New York City. What policies would prompt you to do that? Would that be city-run grocery stores? Would it be something else?
Well, I think if we didn't get along, whether it's cut off or just make it a little bit difficult or not give as much, we want to see, I use the term, we don't want good money going after bad. We just want that to happen. I don't think that will happen. I did say that, you know, subject to what should surprise me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there. The rent coming down. One of the things I really gleaned very much today, we'd like to see him come down, ideally, by building a lot of additional housing. Yeah. That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But if I read the newspapers and the stories, I don't hear that. But I heard him say it today, and I think that's him a big help, because I want New York City to be great. Look, I love New York City. It's where I come from. I spent a lot of years there. Now I'm right here. We took a big setback with the mayor that we had, Dave de Blasio. I thought it was a tremendous setback for the city. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
Mr. President,
okay, how about you? Go ahead, please.
You're a billionaire. You have different addresses nowadays than you used to, but you used to call New York City home.
But I really, especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job. He made different views, was out of the race. I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea, because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on, tariffs.
No, Mr. Ish, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I was also gonna watch it after I finish this stream. But yeah, he might be. I would not be surprised, especially if he did his campaign launch in the gay bar.
And Che, what we said yesterday or the day before, right?
Things Bernie Sanders and I
Che, what we said
much more than people thought.
Man, y'all should be. We said, man, motherfuckers need to be like 3 generations in before they can run for office. You hear me?
At least, yeah.
At least 3 generations in before you can run for office. Cause like I told you, I lived in Ghana for 3 years, right? I'm not gonna purport myself to run for mayor of Accra. You get me? And I just moved there. You get me? Like, what the hell is that? I'm American. How the hell am I gonna run for office in a foreign country?
Right.
My dad moved there for business. Like, we're all FBA. Like I'm FBA all day. Both sides of my family, all 5 sides of my family. I got 2 mamas and 2 daddies. Stepmama and stepdaddies, all FBA.
Right.
Like, but what the fuck? I'm not finna go purport I wouldn't even move to Denver and run for mayor. You get me? Because I'm not from there.
Right.
You wouldn't come to Chicago or Chicago Heights or Olympia Fields and run for mayor. You're not from here.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? You don't know this? You know? So how is this whole Indian dude a mayor of New York City? And his parents weren't even born in the United States.
Because New York is the only city that allows illegal immigrants to vote like that.
What did
it was
what did
it was man voted for? the majority of the people that voted for him, they hadn't even been in New York City for 5 years.
That's my point. I don't think niggas should be able to vote
Right.
if they at least one generation in.
Right.
Like, what a bro, Jesse. So,
Breathe.
hey Jesse, I go fix my transmission. I go drive out there to you, right? So now I get voting rights in your house, in your apartment.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Ask the question again.
So, if I fix my transmission, right, and drive out there to Denver from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Now I got voting rights in your
No.
apartment.
Hell no.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about the damn immigrants.
Right.
You don't just get to come here and now y'all get to vote in our shit. Who the fuck is y'all?
Yeah, it was a lot of black immigrants that voted for him too.
But like you said, most of them only been there less than 5 years.
Yeah. It
If
wasn't
you was
native.
a real New Yorker, if you was a real New Yorker, if I was a real New Yorker,
When I voted for that.
we didn't vote for his ass.
Right.
Like, we from here. We the what's them Indians? Them it start with an S. But you know them Indians that's on that's from New York. We can call Brooke. We can call everybody. I think even Mr. Ish knows up there. Fuck, Breeze Omega knows the damn Indians up there.
Soon, you talking about the Sunni Muslims?
It was Indians that was already there that built Wall Street.
Oh, the Sinnanok. I think that's how you say it, the Sinnanok.
Yeah, Shinnok, something like that. Us the East Coasters will know it better than us. But yes, we were out there.
What's the one that begins with an I? The Inoculans?
Shinnecock Indians, yes. Yep. Yes, Mr. Ishmael. Consuego. Yep. Thank you, Breeze.
Yeah, that's why they got Eric Adams out. Yeah, officer. Dun 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 dun.
Hey, Law and Order. Mr. You look like you got a gun on you. Let me pat you down.
Yeah.
You know what, bro? That's why I don't go to Chicago like that. I don't go to the city like that.
Right.
Because the Chicago police be like that. Man, don't touch me because it's going to be bad.
Right.
It's gonna be very bad. Don't touch me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me finish this up.
When he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, it just turned out to be a statistical truth. But no, I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York. I think much more after the meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but a very good one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Our train screener.
I'll use every form of transit.
That was a fucked up question. Hey, say that shit didn't come through. Hey, run that question back. Run that one question back.
That's a very long drive. I'll stick up.
Run that one question back, Tracy. Say, why did you fly here instead of taking the train? Like, that was a disingenuous question. And Trump is going to answer it correctly.
Fast and Furious, a centerpiece of our campaign.
Did you? Well, but I know, but if you flew, that's a lot quicker too.
Like when that.
Remember when he was running, he kept saying that. He kept saying that we needed to use different forms of transportation, more efficient forms of transportation. So I think that's why they asked him that question, because he kept
saying, why did you fly here instead of taking a train? Like the Indians do with 1,000 people on the train.
Yeah, or on the bus.
Oh, hey, Jesse, I know you seen them damn Indians videos.
Oh yeah, oh my God.
1,000 niggas on top of the train and everything. Like, man, overloaded.
They'd be all over the bus. It's just be,
Right. With their musty armpits.
Yeah. I got the whole damn bus funkified. Got
Somebody
the whole damn...
eating a mouse. Somebody eating a mouse.
Oh my God.
Like a raw mouse. You just caught a mouse. You just eating
He's
it.
working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plane takes.
Hold on. Hey, that's what I was saying, Mr. Ish. That's what I was saying the first time. I said Trump is sitting there like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he really is.
He's letting people stand behind him. But then you see you got George Washington and the flags and shit. But
yeah,
like it's like I said, dude is standing there like a hand servant.
Yeah.
You get me? He's standing there like, man, go get me an apple out the fridge.
Right.
Bring me some toilet paper. Matter of fact, I'm finna stand up, wipe my ass, and pull up my pants. Got that. and kiss that thing. Jesus.
Oh,
like, what? He's just standing there like a hand servant. Mr. Ish is getting it. You're getting it. Like, what the hell?
Right.
You're not going to stand next to nobody sitting at their desk like that. You be like, man, I'm finna go sit down.
Right.
I'm not just finna stand here.
Right.
Like, what's up? Like, I'm finna go. You got a chair across that desk. I'm finna go, goddamn, sit in the chair across that desk. I not just gonna stand here.
What does that signify? New York's gonna help the old Trump? Because he's standing there like he the goddamn help.
Hold on. Hey, Mr. Ishmael. Mamdani has a clean hand.
Yeah.
And a dirty hand.
Yeah.
Oh, let's circle around back to last night.
Oh, yeah.
Mamdani has a clean hand and a dirty hand. We keep both clean hands.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Yep.
What is a dirty hand? And look how Mamdani got his hands folded in his like how he got his hands folded.
Yeah. That's all right.
Look, we can read, especially I'm off the shroom. I can read body language crazy right now. Like, it's crazy.
So dirty over clean.
I know Mr. Ish don't have a dirty hand or a clean hand.
So he's like, I'm going to stick up for him. I got this. It's a very long drive.
Around a Washington Post report, there was this explosive symbols. DHS called that a lie and fake news. Can you clear up?
I don't know anything about it. When was this written?
Yesterday.
Well, look, the Coast Guard's an incredible group of people. I know them very well. We just ordered a lot of new Coast Guard cutters. Beautiful, the most magnificent. They look like yachts with lots of guns on them. So I don't know. I haven't seen any report like that. But certainly we want them to
Coast Guard cutters. They look like yachts.
Yeah, with guns.
He said, I love it. Man, Coast Guard cutters, they look like yachts. They ride so smooth.
With guns.
Trump is, I just love Trump for his swag, bro. I'm not a Trump supporter. I just love his swag, though. That's some Chicago shit.
Yeah, he's sitting there like a straight up mob boss, too.
Like, they come over here. Yeah, we're just going to send Coast Guard cutters.
And all the around the world. I would like to ask Mr. Mamdani, you accused the U.S. government of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken to it, and I shared with the president in our meeting the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 thousands following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made to New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
You agree that President Trump didn't do the peace and work hard to make the peace because we work hard to do the
all efforts towards it in Trump. That when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people were tired to follow through on the international human rights. And I know that still today those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking.
The mayor-elect is the true leader of the Democrat Party. And you think if she was a
leaders, this is a man that right now I think is focused in New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself
the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City. And I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford to live there.
By the way, being the mayor of New York City is a big deal.
Absolutely.
I always said, one of the things I would have loved to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. You could go great, or it can go in a different direction. And I think you really have a chance to make it great.
Hey, see Trump on it. You say it can go great, or it can go a different direction.
New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable. And I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who focused on cost of living, and I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more. Go ahead. 1 or 2 more. Go this thing up. I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries. Nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. Outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares, but they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask you exactly that. Why do you think?
Man, Trump ruling the room right now. Trump running the room right now.
Because I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and New York is at a very critical point. And he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed, and we're going to be helping him. But he's different than your average candidate. He came out of nowhere. I said he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. What'd you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, "Who is this guy?" He was at 1, then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said, that's getting a little bit interesting, right? And then all of a sudden he wins a primary that nobody expected he was going to win. It's a great...
Man, Dami looking like a handmaiden.
It's an amazing thing that he did.
I'll just add...
He looking like he want to wipe Trump's ass right
the president said is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government
work together. The New Deal didn't do shit for black people. What are you talking about?
We have a great portrait of FDR that I found in the vaults.
FDR.
That was missing for years. I found it, and I put it up. He's a Democrat, to the best of my knowledge. He's a Democrat. And when the mayor saw that portrait, he said, "Sir, do you mind if I have a picture taken by that portrait?" It's an amazing portrait. I hope the picture comes out good. But it's an amazing portrait in the cabinet room. So he's a big fan of the New Deal, I guess, and of FDR. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that happens with consequences?
Well, I hope it happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
What's your answer?
Is that I look forward to
Trump,
delivering public safety
look
to
at
the
Trump being
NYPD.
a
I've said over the
diplomat.
course
You said that's
of
the
our
mayor's
campaign
decision.
that
He put it
we
on
have
that
the number
nigga.
of police officers today. They're the
Trump
ones
said it's
that's
on him.
budgeted about 35,000
And
headcount.
whatever you
I
do,
think the key thing is
it
that we have
will
to make
respond.
it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Or are you committing to maintaining the same level?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social workers?
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can
on
focus
his
on
ass.
serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did, Commissioner.
If the newspapers are
Look,
correct.
he bumped Trump's chair, and now he
retained,
feel
I
like
think,
he
somebody
good.
that is a
He just touched.
actually good friend
He
of
just
some of the
touched
people in my
Trump's
family.
chair,
Ivanka,
and he
they
thinks
say
he's
she's
good with
really
Trump.
good, really
You didn't
competent,
even
and
touch
he just
Trump yet.
retained her, so that's a good sign.
Bro, Mr. Ish and Breeze Omega, I know y'all
We'll be
see this
topics
shit,
that we
that power
disagree on.
move.
I think we'll
Bro,
probably
Trump,
come to a conclusion, and ultimately he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. You know, it's for the good of New York.
He'll convince
Ultimately,
me,
it's for
or
the
I'll
good of New
convince
York.
him.
I don't care about
and
affiliations
how is
or
Trump gonna
parties or
convince him?
anything
He gonna
else. I wanna
send ice
see
in that
if
bitch.
this city could be unbelievable, if he could be a spectacular success,
It's gonna
I'd be
be
very happy.
unbelievable when he's saying ice in that
Do you
bitch.
think you'll meet again in the future?
I think we will. I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned
Trump
multiple
about to
times
deport
by
that
calling
mayor.
Zohran Mamdani a
That mayor
jihadist.
finna
Do
get
you think you're
deported.
sitting next to a
Along with
jihadist
AOC.
right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. But she's out there campaigning, and you know, you
They
see
all
things
finna get
sometimes in a
deported.
campaign.
See George Washington right there?
She's a very capable person,
Isn't
but
that
you
Like-
really have to ask her about that.
I
But,
do
don't
see
particularly- I think
captures,
I met
right?
with a very,
Like this hot.
I met with a man who's a very rational person. I met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again. And I can say again, because New York was great. You know, when I came down to Washington,
I do my
initially,
scenery. Like
the city
everything.
was so hot. It was doing
Trump
great.
captured the scenery.
We were having some telltale signs and
Zohran
problems.
is
We had
finna get deported.
a mayor that was not doing a great job.
The mayor of New York
still,
finna get deported.
Was moving along, and it
Trump
went
doesn't
bad.
trust
It
him.
really went, you know,
That's
pretty
how I
bad.
move around people I
And
don't trust.
I think it's been at lower points, but it went pretty bad. I think we can bring it back. Now the
I'll
question
be
is,
right
we bring it back all the way? Will it bring it back greater than ever before? Which is, I guarantee that's his wish. He wants to make it.
We thank you for watching. Tonight, the surprising Oval Office.
He ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people.
Yeah, so he's sitting up there chummy with his ass. This shit is crazy. So I would not feel comfortable if I lived in New York City after that shit. Like, hell no. Crew, you still there? All right, so the next video is from Democracy Now! They're going to dissect this shit even more.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. President Trump and New York Mayor-elect, the Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani, met Friday at the White House in the Oval Office for the first time. Over the past several months, both Trump and Mamdani have harshly criticized each other. Trump's called Mamdani a communist lunatic and a, quote, Jew hater. Trump had also threatened to send the National Guard to New York and cut off billions of dollars in federal funding to New York City if Mamdani was elected. Meanwhile, Mamdani has described Trump as a fascist and a despot. Many of Trump's supporters had criticized Trump for inviting Mamdani, who will soon become New York's first Muslim and South Asian mayor. The far-right conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer said it was, quote, wild to allow a jihadist communist to stand behind the president's desk in the Oval Office, unquote. But President Trump struck a very different tone as he openly embraced Mamdani's effort to make New York City more affordable. These are excerpts from their press conference in the Oval Office.
We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president. And as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out. And I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said I would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we in our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe
New York City, you both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you called ICE a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out, and I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York.
I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing.
And socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say, okay. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Excerpts of President Trump and New York Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani at the White House Friday. On Sunday, Mayor-elect Mamdani appeared on Meet the Press. He was interviewed by Kristen Welker.
Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do?
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
You've also said in the past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a...
Everything in the past I believe, and that's the thing that I think is important in our politics, is us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers. And a few weeks ago, I was asked by a reporter 3 words to describe myself. I said, New York City. And that's what animated that conversation. How do we deliver for the people of New York City?
We're joined right now by Ross Barkan, Fascism or Genocide, How a Decade of Political Disorder Broke American Politics. His most recent piece for New York Magazine is titled Zohran Mamdani is a Mayor for a New Age in New York City. He's now writing a book for Random House on Mamdani's rise. In 2018, Ross Barkan ran for New York State Senate. Zohran Mamdani served as his campaign.
Okay, Mr. Ishmael, appreciate you coming through. Feel free to come back anytime. Have a good day.
Campaign manager. Ross Barkan, welcome back to Democracy Now! You know Zohran Mamdani very well. Talk about the significance of this meeting at the White House on Friday.
Well, it was obviously a remarkable meeting. You going in don't expect them to be so chummy, and the tableau was certainly jarring. But I would say there were reasons that they were able to get along. I do think Trump respects Mamdani because he's been successful, because he's built a movement behind him, because he's charismatic, because he subverted his political establishment. Trump did the same thing on the Republican side. So I do think Trump has less respect for establishment Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. He looks to Mamdani. He sees someone who is new. He's a fresh face. They're certainly going to battle. There's no doubt they cannot be friends forever. But it was notable, and it does help New York City if Trump is less antagonistic towards Mamdani. The idea is to have Trump do as little damage as possible to New York City. That was the goal of the meeting. So far for Mamdani, so good. We'll see what happens next.
I mean, it's very interesting. I want to go back to President Trump's meeting with Mamdani.
We discussed ICE and New York City, and I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs.
What we did is we discussed crime more than ICE per se. We discuss crime, and he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime. And I have very little doubt that we're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to, and he said some things that were very interesting as to housing construction, and he wants to see houses go up. He wants to see a lot of houses created, a lot of apartments built, etc. And you know, we actually people would be shocked, but I want to see the same thing.
So let's unpack this from the threat of sending ICE agents and federal troops into New York, whether you think this is going to happen, to the issue of housing and affordability and whether or not they see the same thing. President Trump saying he could see living in the New York City of Mayor Mamdani.
Well, I've long thought that Trump was going to send the National Guard into New York City under Mamdani administration. One thing about this meeting is that could have changed that seemingly inevitable future. We'll find out. I mean, Trump is extremely mercurial, so one can't really know. But if Mamdani can successfully keep the national city, that's certainly a victory for him. As for the ICE incursions, I mean, that's going to be fascinating because the real vicious use of ICE has been a hallmark of Trump's second term under Tom Homan. So I still find it hard to believe ICE will simply retreat out of New York City. But if Mamdani has a dialogue with Trump, perhaps New York can avoid the fate of Chicago, where ICE has really been wreaking havoc day in and day out, in other cities as well. And if they continue to have this dialogue, if they continue to have relations, perhaps ICE is less determined to wantonly arrest people. I still don't know if Mamdani will be able to keep Trump at bay in that way. It's just hard to know. But certainly the meeting was productive. Then in terms of housing, it's very interesting. I mean, Trump is a developer at heart, so he understands the language of building, that you have to build more housing. I don't know if that means federal government will be full anyway. I don't really expect it. But showed there was commonality there.
So let me ask you about what happened before their meeting at the White House. You had Congress voting on a bipartisan resolution with scores of Democrats joining, condemning the, quote, horrors of socialism. It had been introduced, this resolution, about a month ago, but the Republicans decided to bring it on the floor Friday morning. The response that Zohran Mamdani had to this is that he's a democratic socialist. Talk about the meaning of this and the scores of Democrats, including the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who represents Brooklyn, who just recently endorsed Zohran Mamdani, joining in the condemnation.
Well, Mamdani has been incredibly accommodating to Hakeem Jeffries, who might end up the House Speaker in 2027, even though Jeffries offered only a tepid endorsement and has not been terribly helpful to him, to be frank. But I think Mamdani wants to build a broad coalition. He wants the help of the governor to implement his agenda. Kathy Hochul and Hakeem Jeffries are close, so I think it's important to maintain those ties for him to deliver on his agenda. I mean, the reality is that the Republicans who really wanted to upset or discombobulate Mamdani failed. They also failed to move Trump fully into their column. You know, Trump flattered Mamdani and praised for him, and in a way created complications for their 2026 midterm strategy, which is to tie all Democrats to Mamdani. So on one hand, you have a lot of centrist Democrats who are never going to understand Mamdani's appeal or don't want to, and they're going to run away from the term socialism. As we saw with Mamdani, at least in New York City, one can run towards the term and win. So he's an accommodating person. He's not going to attack. He's going to try to build coalitions. That's what he's doing right now. But we shall see what the future holds.
Ross Barkan, what do you make of NYC DSA, that's the Democratic Socialists of America, just voting not to endorse City Council member Chiyose's challenge against New York Congressmember Hakeem Jeffries, with more than half, 52% of DSA members rejecting him?
Well, the reality is, from a practical standpoint, Mamdani didn't want that primary because it was going to be quite bloody. It is probably not winnable. It's going to be inordinately difficult because Jeffries is not like Joe Crowley. He's not like Andrew Cuomo. He doesn't have scandals. He doesn't hide from his district. Also, Chiose himself is not really a member of DSA. He joined very recently, so there was excitement around him, and there's a lot of rank and file who want to take on Hakeem Jeffries, who's very pro-Israel and who's a centrist. But the reality is Osei was probably not the ideal vessel for DSA. DSA really wants candidates who are loyal to the organization, who are going to work closely with the organization, like Mamdani. I think there is distrust towards Osei, and also Osei didn't quite make the case that he could defeat Hakeem Jeffries. If you're going to undertake a primary like that, that's going to be incredibly divisive and maybe worthy, but also very tough. You've got to show you can win. I don't think enough members of DSA nor Mamdani were won over.
During the White House press conference, Zohran Mamdani was asked about Israel and Gaza.
You accused the U.S. government of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Ross Barkan, you're the author of the book Fascism or Genocide, How a Decade of Political Disorder Broke American Politics. The significance of the mayor-elect talking about Israel's assault on Gaza as a genocide and standing by what he has been saying now for several years.
It's actually quite remarkable, and I thought it got overshadowed in that meeting. The headlines are all about how well the two men got along and how much Trump liked Mamdani. But the fact that Zohran Mamdani went and stood inside the White House and called what Israel did to Gaza a genocide it would have been unthinkable even a year ago. When you think of how much the paradigm has shifted around Israel and Gaza and Palestine, I mean, this is something that, you know, for Israel hawks should be particularly concerning, and for the pro-Palestine left should be exciting. I mean, this is really a moment I do think we'll look back on as a time when politics truly shifted in this country, because Mamdani did not back down, and also Trump did not criticize him for saying that, and that's the other part of this that really jumped out to me. Trump did not rush to defend Netanyahu. And Trump is obviously, you know, very much an Israel hawk and very much a defender and enabler of the Netanyahu regime. But the fact that even he himself is willing to permit that kind of criticism, and the fact that he himself is even weary of the Netanyahu war to some degree, I mean, shows that there has been a true shift on the ground.
Ross Barkan, I want to thank you for being with us. Journalist, author, columnist for New York Magazine, now writing a book on Zohran Mamdani. Thanks for watching.
All right, crew, you still there? You're on mute. So the next video is going to be from Professor Black Truth. Professor Black Truth had to give his take on the situation. The Mamdani meeting with Trump, and also Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping down.
If you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now, along with the bell icon, so you can be notified whenever a new video is posted. And if you're already subscribed, check and make sure the YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you. And of course, be sure to give the video a like, as well as share it on your social media. The white supremacists hate that. And now, the Sunday address. Flashback. Now, of course, when it comes to the white media trying to make it sound as if the Democrat establishment just can't believe what it's seeing and such, let's be honest here. While he wasn't their first choice, the reality is he's still on the inside of the tent peeing out, and that's the part that's the most important to him. They would prefer somebody else, but if they have to, they will put up with this new guy if they have to. As Dr. Noam Chomsky said, the most sophisticated form of propaganda is when something presents itself as opposition, when in reality, it's actually support. A man who the white media tries to present as political disruptor and somebody who's really shaking up the system, but in reality, especially when push comes to shove, he knows what side his bread's buttered on. 6 months later. And don't let anyone con you with this phony non-controversy that Mamdani is a socialist. Bernie Sanders is a socialist too. And what has he done for black people? Nothing, except tell us what he's not going to do. So family, don't let the white media sit here and repeat something to you to the point that you start to buy into it. We have to be careful about falling for controlled opposition. Just because someone from the dominant society takes a position that others in the dominant society, or even a majority in the dominant society, don't like, that doesn't mean that they're on our side or that they're even against the system. You can have loud and angry debates among white supremacists within white supremacy. You can have them openly fighting. Hell, they can even fight a world war. And yet, in the end, they'll always eventually bury the hatchet And at no point in any of their conflicts are they going to change their stance regarding you and me. This white media is pretending to be shocked about this guy when we know that if he was truly a threat to the system, they would be giving him the Nate Parker treatment and demonizing him full time. They would be claiming that some white woman accused him of something, no doubt. They would be attacking him 24/7 if he was truly a threat. But he's not, any more than the socialist Senator Bernie Sanders is.
End of flashback.
New York's newly minted quote-unquote socialist mayor, Zohran Mamdani, went to meet with the Orange Man. And instead of the white media headlines all saying that this socialist firebrand bent the knee to the fascists, he sold out his voters, instead the white media headlines have been praising him for this visit. Mamdani says that his meeting with Trump was productive, the headlines say. The New York Times gushes Mamdani and Trump tamped down fears over National Guard in New York City. A far cry from how the white media have been talking about Trump and his troop deployments before. CNN, of course, pretty much set the tone for the rest of the white media. They praised Mamdani's visit and claimed that New Yorkers praise it too. Now, of course, this is some obvious white media manipulation, but they did it for a reason. They were quoting New Yorkers as saying things like, maybe we'll get some stuff for the subway. And another says, unfortunately, this is what you have to do. You have to bow down, praise him, and walk out and wash your hands after. And they end the piece with someone saying, Trump continues to be the most transactional president we've ever had. And if people are smart, they find a way to give him something, and then he loves you and rolls out the red carpet. So New Yorkers apparently feel that the orange menace is somewhat reasonable, and that, well, if you just play the game, you can get exactly what it is that you need. Oh, how different this coverage is from what we've seen before. This is what New Yorkers think about Mamdani's trip to Trump. He was bending the knee, but according to CNN, that's completely understandable. You have to bow down to the orange man and praise him in order to try to get something from him, which is also the same attitude that the white media has about him as well. Keep in mind, stories like this, which are basically a sloppy kiss to Trump, that's the white media sending a message as much as anything else. When you see them quote people as saying how transactional Trump is, that's the white media saying they want to make a deal too. All these white media outlets are owned by even bigger corporations who all want all kinds of goodies from the federal government they can get, and being on Trump's good side expedites that process. Just because people don't like Trump's policies or they don't like the man himself doesn't mean they don't want something from him. Now you got a whole bunch of people on the white left and their activist groups who are upset with Mamdani. Why is he going to meet with the orange man? Doesn't he know how evil Trump is? How could this socialist go and meet with a billionaire? Never mind the fact that Mamdani's own folks actually had some money that they got in Africa, by the way. And you notice that the white media doesn't have any quotes from anyone saying that Trump is a fascist and Mamdani's betrayed the voters. They didn't put that in any of their stories. Now, if the white media was really hostile against this so-called socialist, how come they don't take this as a golden opportunity to start the steady drumbeat against him and claim that he's sold out his supporters? It's because they don't want to encourage other people on the grounds of this person claims to be a socialist or somebody else who's going to give them heartburn on the issues. Mamdani is as much a tool as Donald Trump is. Officer Eric Adams of the NYPD also thought he was on the inside too, and in the end, he wound up thrown out with the trash. This game isn't about loyalty. For white power, it's about utility. Mamdani already knows that he was going to do this pivot. He knew it from the jump. His campaign rhetoric began to soften almost as soon as he realized he was becoming the front runner. And now he's not talking any of that iconoclastic stuff that he was before. He's actually hanging out with the billionaires instead of going to war with them. He's only 34, and to be mayor of New York City already, you better believe he's thinking that he can become president too. That's why being seen in the White House was important to him. He wants people to associate him with the presidency. And why not? The Democratic field is wide open for 2028, though I don't think he's quite reckless enough to actually run in 2 years, since he doesn't quite have a track record behind him. But then again, Pete Buttigieg decided he was going to go ahead and throw his Burger King crown in the ring. So if that guy could try it, don't put it past Mamdani to throw his name in order to try to raise his political profile beyond the Big Apple. He's 34, so if nothing else, he's got time. Politicians are ultimately creatures of self-interest. What a shame that the Mamdani fan club didn't realize that. And how did I know that these white forces of power weren't doing 100% to take him down? How did I know that he was going to change his tune and begin making nice with the very people that he ran on a platform of challenging? Do I have a crystal ball that allows me to see the future? No. I have common sense that allows me to see the past. A lot of people thought that this guy was going to be the second coming of Barack Obama, and I told you that he was, just not the way that they thought. The people who thought to themselves that he was going to be banging the drum for Gaza, they're more than a little bit disappointed right now. But if they had been honest with themselves, they wouldn't be. This is the outcome that was always going to happen. There wasn't going to be some scenario where this guy becomes mayor of New York and he immediately decides, let me go ahead and go to war with Wall Street. I know what an all or nothing candidacy looks like. I know what somebody who truly wants to start a political fight does whenever they're running for office. And I also know what the reaction of the white media is when they see somebody who's actually serious about trying to change things. I didn't see any of those things with Mamdani or from the white media. It looked to me like the same old, same old. And sure, this guy claims to be a socialist, but so what? Bernie Sanders also does the same thing, and his fan club has also been disappointed by the fact that Bernie Sanders always seems to be missing on important votes. He never seems to take the stances that they need him to, especially at crucial moments. Yeah, if you didn't know better, you'd swear that these guys were basically using socialists as a form of branding. If the voters are angry, you go ahead and claim that you're going to be the voice of their anger. They'll get behind you, and then you give them tons of excuses for why you couldn't get anything done. And so long as you go ahead and hold on to the alleged title of being a socialist or whatever, there will be a number of them who will hold on to the dream that apparently you are different when in reality, you're just more controlled opposition. And speaking of which, that brings us to Marjorie Taylor Greene. The congresswoman from Georgia has announced that she's going to be resigning from Congress in January. She says this is because Trump is encouraging Republicans to push someone to run against her, and she says she wants to spare her supporters an ugly political primary fight. This is doubly bizarre that she's pulling this move. She ran for re-election just last year. And not only did she win, obviously, but she won by a huge margin, 2-1. And that was just a year ago. Am I supposed to believe that in just 1 year, Marjorie Greene's support has cratered, that apparently she's got some sort of huge disapproval rating already after just a year? That doesn't make any sense. She won her public fight against Trump to force the disclosure of the Epstein files, so she obviously beat Trump in a policy battle on his own terms. She hasn't been and cannot get more relevant and influential as a Congress member than she is right now. So what does she do coming off of her huge political victory against Trump? She claims that powerful men are beating up on her because she's a woman and that she's going to leave Congress in a few weeks. She has a global platform, extremely high visibility, and a Secret Service detail. She's as well protected as an individual can be, and yet she says she has no choice but to resign for her own safety, which means that if she's still allowed a Secret Service detail, it's going to be significantly smaller, and there won't be so many eyes on her, at least when she wanders around in public, which means there won't be so many eyes on anyone else who's around her either. By her resigning so abruptly and blaming Trump, this only serves to further weaken him politically. It serves to take the MAGA faithful, who are all a bunch of extremists, and say, if Marjorie Greene forced the disclosure of the Epstein files and she says that Trump is now against her, we're against him too, playing the damsel in distress. It's interesting how the MAGA males don't seem bothered that she's weaponizing her gender against a white man on this one. As usual, feminist tactics are perfectly fine with MAGA males as long as they're being used against someone they don't like. Once Trump went soft on the visa restrictions, these guys felt like he didn't deserve their support. They know what Greene's doing, and they'll let it ride if it gets them closer to what they want. As I've said before, I have every expectation that Greene is actually preparing to run for president. Stepping away from Congress is her attempt to reinvent herself. She's got to put some distance between herself and the swamp. And people have short memories, so as soon as she says that she's out of there, people will immediately feel as if she's been gone for years when it's only been a few months. That's why she changed the way that she speaks about people. She's being more diplomatic now, more statesman-like. Of course, this is weird as hell coming from her because for her entire political career, she's done nothing but throw pipe bombs at people and make one asinine spectacle out of herself after the next. Based on her behavior for the last 10 years, if you had told me that the old Marjorie Greene was running for president, I would expect Alex Jones to be her running mate. She was one of the originators of the kind of performative extremism that's now become the norm for the white right. She was publicly harassing kids who survived a school shooting and did it on camera boldly. She posted this display on her YouTube channel and then bragged that she was confronting these individuals. This was what she was doing in the days leading up to the pandemic, by the way. No social distancing from her and no common decency either. This is who she really is. What she's doing now is a pathetic act, and everyone sees right through it. Yes, the white media has a 5-minute memory, unless you're black, but the internet doesn't. Don't expect her to be doing all of that Alex Jones QAnon nuttery that she was before. After she leaves Congress, I fully expect for her to be on TV a lot more. And I also expect the white media to be making nice with her too. She understands that if she's going to actually reinvent herself, she's going to need as much face time with the public as possible. She'll be telling people what policies that she wants to see enacted. That's what she's going to be doing. Former member of Congress talking about policies. Here's what we have to pass. And nobody's going to say, well, gee, couldn't you have actually done that better as a member of Congress? Oh, no. I couldn't stay any longer. Just couldn't stay. What she's going to be doing is actually presenting her presidential policy slate. Now, I'm not saying that it's 110% guaranteed that she's going to run, but I am telling you that based on her behavior and how she's positioned herself, she's definitely thinking that she can run. Her real audience for this new adult acting version of herself are the deplorables in MAGA land. Defying Trump and taking him on over the Epstein files, that was her first big political test. She was making it very clear she wasn't taking orders from this man anymore. And more importantly, she was going to do something that he saw as detrimental to himself. The fact that Trump called her and Nancy Mace to the White House and that neither one of them backed down, and Greene wanted to be the first one on camera saying, oh yeah, I met with the president, but I couldn't remain quiet. And then for this bold gamble to pay off to the point that Trump had to change his tune and say, well, on second thought, I'm going to support it. After that, clearly the tail was wagging the dog. It was no longer Trump who was in charge of the MAGA movement. Now it seems that at the very least, Marjorie Greene managed to elbow her way into the driver's seat, at least for a moment anyway. What this did was this told Greene and a lot of other people how weak Trump's position truly is. The only thing that Marjorie Greene is scared of is missing an opportunity to climb the political ladder. And her political tone has been, for lack of a better word, softening for weeks now, before the Epstein files vote took place. That means that she's been thinking about doing this for a while. There is a clear schism in MAGA. This is evidenced by the fact that right-wing mouthpieces like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson have broken away from their own restrictive right-wing media paymasters, and both of them have been attacking those same paymasters and their interests. And rather than being immediately destroyed, they've instead grown in popularity and clout, and the people they used to work for have seen their own power diminish. Even clowns like Nick Fuentes have seen their own notoriety increase. The political center of gravity is undergoing a shift, and there's a lot of people on the white right who are eager to position themselves advantageously. Trump is not a dead duck, but he's definitely a lame one. A lot of the MAGA faithful are losing faith in their orange messiah, and as a result, a lot of them may be looking for a new political home. Greene is positioning herself to offer precisely that, a place for these disaffected and disillusioned MAGA types. That's why she's taking a hard line on visas and basically saying that she would actually come through on the policies that Trump hasn't. So you notice how quickly things have changed. And notice that we're not hearing any more scare talk about Project 2025. Interesting how everyone suddenly forgot that they were in mortal terror that Trump was going to cancel the elections, declare himself dictator for life, and abolish the Constitution. Instead, the exact same people who told you and me that his re-election would be the beginning of the American Gestapo, they're now talking the same way that they do every election cycle. In fact, they're now positive and anticipating a blue wave next year that's going to sweep them back into power. And yet, predictably, none of them is talking about what the voters, especially black voters, are going to get. Even now, none of them's interested in offering the voters anything. Instead, it's just more empty happy talk. Hope is just around the corner. This was the plan from the very beginning, to get something for nothing. The plan was always about scaring people to the polls to uphold a system that isn't offering them anything. When the scare talk failed, they had to try to save face by pretending that this was the beginning of Nazi America, but they knew this political theater wasn't working. Some may be asking, what about J.D. Vance? Surely he's going to run in 2028, right? Trump didn't pick Vance because he wanted a worthy successor, and he didn't choose the guy because of his brains. He chose him for the exact opposite reason. He's an empty vessel. Trump wanted a vice president this time who would be a more reliable tool than Mike Pence proved to be. Vance doesn't have a following of his own. He doesn't have the charisma or the knowledge to become a major political leader. And the way things are going, Greene and others have already been scheming ways to push him aside when the time comes. And while we can all get our jollies by pointing to the political infighting and palace intrigue on the right and the political disillusionment by the Mamdani fans on the left, the reality is none of this changes our mission. The entire point of this Sunday evening address was to remind you that when you get past all of the phony hysteria and all the screaming and the yelling that the white media likes to put up, at the end of the day, you notice how these guys always seem to be acting in their own interest no matter what they tell you. It doesn't matter if it's your socialist on the left or if it's your right-wing firebrand on the right. As soon as they spy an opportunity to gain something for themselves, they'll change on a dime. The same people who were claiming that they were going to go to war with the billionaire class, now Mamdani's hanging out with Trump for the weekend. And the same people who were saying that they were with Trump for life, as soon as they see an opening for themselves, well, Trump scares me so much, and I sincerely hope that you'll stand with me against him. That's what these guys are always doing. But what they're not doing is they're not saying what you and I are going to get. This is the white media trying to give a new lease on life to pro wrestling politics, which is what the United States has been for the better part of half a century. Well, I don't watch pro wrestling, and I'm not interested in having some slick talking shyster tell me all these things that I know that he's not going to do. I know the difference between people who are actually interested in changing things and those who are not. The ones who are serious, they come and actually talk to me and tell me personally what I'm going to get. They don't show up with platitudes. They show up with solid pledges. And if I see the white media is not attacking them 24/7, if the white media is not really going in and doing every grimy, dirty thing that they can to sink that person, that's how I'm looking and going, obviously the white powers that be don't think he's too much of a threat. Hype is one of the propaganda tools white supremacy uses to exercise soft power. By getting people to get excited about something. Either they make you irrationally happy like they did with Barack Obama, people getting jolly for no reason, or they try to make you irrationally terrified. We already saw that with all the fear-mongering against Trump. But in the end, no matter how much scare talk they do, when it comes time to actually look at what happens, that's going to show you whether or not they actually believe that there was any real threat. And what they're saying is, New Yorkers are just fine with the fascist regime. This in the heart of the white media in New York City? Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know. And the main thing I hope it tells you is that if the white media is presenting someone to you, either on the white right or the white left, no matter their rhetoric, the only thing you can count on from them is not sticking to their political positions, but rather sticking to their own personal interests. Well, you better do the same. Good evening, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Frederica Moore, Wally Bilal, Lamont Ingram, Leonard Cottingham, and Wesley Monroe. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
Man show, let's get into it right now. As you may already know by now, this video has gone viral. You had the state trooper at the Texas A&M game. I think it was Texas A&M against the South Carolina Gamecocks. And they were getting beat pretty bad. They ended up coming back and making one of the greatest comebacks in this football game in the SEC history. But one of the things that happened, as you all know, that viral video of the officer or this trooper purposely walking into these two players. I think one of the young men is Nycc Harbert, who he swung his elbow at and then had the nerve to point at this brother right here. Now, this brother right here, number 8, I believe this might be Harbert. I'm not sure, but let me just get to the point here. He ran the ball for 80 yards. They were talking about how this guy had track speed. And when he ran the ball for an 80-yard touchdown against Texas A&M, he ran into the tunnel, and you can see him touching his hamstring because he injured himself in the process. Okay, you've got people making excuses right now, trying to make it seem like, oh, well, the trooper, didn't like the fact that they were showboating in the tunnel and showing up his team, Texas A&M. The trooper's job, ladies and gentlemen, this man's job is not to bump into players, throw his shoulder at players to try to agitate a situation. He wanted these he tried to set them up. He wanted these black players to lose their cool, fall apart, and attack him so that he could play the victim. He tried to play possum. He tried to set them up, but luckily they did not go for it. And as a result as we already know, the state trooper was relieved of his duty. The Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, is aware of the incident that occurred today during the Texas A&M football game. DPS trooper involved was sent home from the game. Our office's inspector general is also aware of the incident. Look, this man should either be fired. This man should either be relieved. I think they relieved him of duties covering football games, but I think he should be fired because he was trying to agitate something. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you have a man by the name of Johnny Manziel. This guy right here who was on Shannon Sharp's Nightcap show. Y'all know the show right here. He came on Nightcap. Johnny Manziel is damn near defending the state trooper. Johnny Manziel defends Texas A&M police officer or state trooper who confronted Nick Harbert. And he made this statement about we protect our house. This guy right here, Johnny Manziel, a Haitian football player who was originally drafted by the Cleveland Browns out of Texas A&M. So he's an alumni. And when he was on the show, he said these words, and I'm going to play the actual video because I want to make sure that you hear this and you hear this very well. But I want to play this for you, everybody. Check out. He had the nerve to say this.
Get out of my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey. Get out of my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey. Get out of my tunnel, boy. Get back on the.
Do you see what that is? One of the things you need to understand is that there's a history, particularly coming out of the South, where black men were called boys. White men who were racist, especially in the South, like Texas, okay? It was a long tradition for them to call black men boys. It did not matter how old you were. It doesn't matter if you were 18 years old, you were 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, a senior, they would still call you a boy, which is why I don't personally like that term. And I think we should get away from that term. I mean, we can call our young men that are 19 and 20 young men, but I'm not calling them a boy. We know that they're still developing, but under the law, when you're 18, 19, they consider you a man. But Johnny Manziel, this sucker right here, who has a long history, okay, of getting himself into trouble with the law. I think this man, his girlfriend, had to file a police report because she felt that this man was going to take her life. Well, he gets up there on Shannon's program, felt emboldened to say these particular words, defending this individual. Now, his excuse is that, well, you know, we were getting beat pretty bad by the South Carolina Gamecocks and the fans were getting frustrated and maybe the trooper got frustrated and that's why he bumped the players and you can see the player to the left, he really, man, let me just show y'all a little bit of this footage. Here we go. Look at this. So they're coming out and look to the left, boom, bumps him and then points at the other guy. Watch the bump again. He bumps number 27, the other player, and I think look at it, brother, the number 8, look at that. The player with the number 8 uniform, this brother is probably saying, hey, man, I don't like the way you bump my teammate. Look at that. He bumps number 27. Why would you come down a runway? You see football players who are trying to get back to the sideline. Your job as a state trooper is to protect the players, the coaches, and the fans in the stadium and protect them from someone running on the field who may do them harm. But instead, you tried to harm one of their players. I don't give a damn or you know what if he was frustrated about South Carolina stumping all over Texas A&M and he didn't like it. But damn it, this is what he did. And if he's willing to do that, well, you got millions of people in the stadium, as my man Ryan Clark says, I'm going to play you a clip from him, then God knows what this state trooper would do. Do you understand me? God knows what he would do when nobody is looking. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no telling what he would be willing to do under circumstances where nobody is looking. He felt emboldened. And let me tell you why this man probably felt very emboldened to do what he did, because you got the man, the racist president at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in D.C., who, since he's gotten into office and the things that he does, it's got a lot of these white supremacists, a lot of these racist individuals. They feel so emboldened that they can do whatever they want. You understand what I'm saying? Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let me show you what Johnny Manziel said when he was on Shannon Sharp's show. And what bothered me about this is that Shannon Sharp and Chad Coon Johnson, Raccoon Johnson, sat up there smiling while this man made these statements. Let me play it in its full perspective for you right now. Check this out.
Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey. Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey.
So that's what he said, but let me let you see the video that led to him making such such statements. I mean, this was just crazy. Listen.
Ocho, Texas A&M said the state trooper, Johnny, that made contact with the South Carolina players during the game was relieved of his game day duties. After receiver Nycc Harbor caught an 80-yard touchdown pass late in the second quarter, he grabbed his right leg, walked up the ramp, and off.
So Nycc Harbor would be the young man right here, number 8. But his teammate got bumped to the left side. That's Nycc Harbor, the brother who confronted him. He's the one that made the 80-yard touchdown. But the thing that the thing that sticks out to me is that he also threw his elbow at number 27, his teammate. Okay, let me get back to what Shannon Sharp is saying right here.
Oscar Attaway III following. As they turned to walk back down the field, the Texas state trooper bumped into them and then turned around and pointed at the players, seemingly scolding them. Harbor was quickly pushed away by a teammate and continued to the field, but Beamer thanked Texas A&M for the quick action while speaking to reporters after the game. Got a ton of respect for the people here at College Station. It's a first-class operation. Everybody from the game operation standpoint, they do a great job and are first-class people. So we appreciate them handling that the right way and sending him home. Johnny, what are your thoughts about the alma mater?
Yeah, I think we're just a little frustrated in that first half. He breaks off that run, runs up the tunnel.
Now, look at how Chad Ocho Cinco Raccoon Johnson got them shades on, grinning and skinning. Now, in near the end, Johnson tries to clean it up by saying, well, you know, the trooper was wrong. But he's laughing it up while Johnny Manziel is trying to make light of it by saying, well, you know, I think the fans were just frustrated. What does the fans being frustrated have to do with the trooper doing something that was out of his job? He's there to protect the players, the coaches in the stadium, and the people, not to bump players and try to unite issues so that he can look like he's a victim. You see what I mean? This is insane.
Around here in these parts, partner, we protect this house.
See?
We paid a lot of money for this house. Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field.
Hey. And look how Chad Johnson has his mouth open. He's like a throwback to the past. He's chuck dance. He's chucking. He's got his lips and his teeth out. While this white boy, Johnny Manziel, who was a horrible NFL player, horrible person off the field, and I'm going to show you some video about how bad Johnny Manziel is, sits up there and tries to make this about the fans being frustrated and about how the stadium costs a lot of money and how it's about protecting our stadium. What are you talking about? The young man went into the tunnel to get treatment or to whether he celebrated, it doesn't matter. The state troop no business putting hands on him as Johnny Manziel tries to undervalue what really happened. And he uses that tone about, boy, get off. This is what they really think of black players. Black people, you send black players, you send young black men to play at these Southern schools, the SEC, and you got a lot of racism in these Southern football programs. Deep racism. Even though they're playing football for these schools, running up and down the football field, it doesn't change the fact that you got some deep racism still that remains in the South. And it's just as pure as day that trooper had no respect for them. He looked at them as just the same as he would if these were 3 or 4 black young men walking down the street minding their own business. Tell me I'm telling a lie. I'm not telling a lie, I'm telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let's get back to this nonsense.
And are first-class people. So we appreciate them handling that the right way and sending him home. Johnny, what are your thoughts about
Here he goes
album
again.
Yeah, I think we're just a little frustrated in that first half. He breaks
Bullshit.
off that run, runs up the tunnel.
We just a little bit frustrated, but around here we protect our house. Get off the field, boy.
Down here in these parts, partner, we protect this house. We paid a lot of money for this house. Get out my tunnel, boy.
Now, you see Chad Johnson laughing like a raccoon. It's funny how both him and Sharp never took the time to correct Johnny from saying the things that he was saying in terms of that statement. And you would think Sharp would have known better because Sharp is from the South. And it would have been, it's a damn shame that even Shannon Sharp himself didn't correct Johnny and say, look, we're not cool with that word right there. What do you mean, Johnny?
Hey, Tay,
No,
I'll be right back.
with
I'll
it.
be right back. I'll be right back. I'm on my
See?
boy Casey right
He
now.
gave
We
him a little
making some
something.
moves.
Let him
So
be
I'll be
honest.
right back, bro.
But
Let him know what's up. Listen to the recklessness of this good old boy, Johnny Manziel, who has a criminal history, and I will show you in a moment.
listen, majority of the time you don't see a lot of that from A&M people. You don't see it from Aggies. It is a small gesture that, of course, in the day and age we live in, it's on TV and recorded and blasted everywhere. I'm sure the guy obviously feels bad about it. I'm sure it's one of those moments, but
I'll be right back, Tay. I'll be right back, Tay.
College, I'd hit him dead in the damn head with a football. I'm just telling you, just knowing.
Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Get out my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field.
I just want to emphasize that because that word triggering through the history is a word that did not have any place in this situation. Johnny Manziel, I don't give a damn if he's an alumni of Texas A&M. Now, he was a good quarterback in Texas, but he was a good quarterback in college, but a garbage quarterback in the pros. And he also was a criminal off the field. I don't care what Johnny is saying. What the trooper did was wrong. I think he should be fired from his job, completely suspended. Even though they're taking him off of duties from games, there still is something about this whole situation that stinks. And I mean, it stinks, and it stinks really, really bad, y'all. I mean, really, really bad. It stinks to me. Let me know what you think about this whole incident in the comment section of this video. Let me show you Johnny Manziel, the one that was talking all that jive. Let me let you see what type of background he has. Let me refresh your memory about this criminal-minded individual that was on Shannon Sharp's show. Shannon Sharp ought to be ashamed of himself, as well as Chad sitting up there cheesing and laughing when he said those things. Okay. Shannon Sharp should have, since it was his show, he should have corrected him on that particular statement that he made. I didn't appreciate that, but let me let y'all hear this.
Drama reaching new levels tonight. Police reports revealing disturbing details of Manziel's latest altercation with his ex.
He
said her boyfriend had been her off.
Johnny firing back tonight. Could this be the final straw for the young quarterback's NFL career? And breaking news, details pouring in tonight about Johnny Manziel's fight with his ex-girlfriend.
Some of the allegations are horrifying, prompting the NFL, Dallas Police Department, and Manziel to respond. We have live team coverage tonight.
And News Channel 5's Home of Bash starts us off with what happened between the two former lovers.
It's a 911 call from last Saturday night, coupled with this police report.
This is terrible, everybody.
What happened the night Johnny Manziel's ex-girlfriend accused him of assaulting her?
She didn't want me to call you, but I think it's the right thing.
Chilling words from Colleen Crowley's neighbor in Fort Worth, Texas. It all started when Crowley and her ex-boyfriend, Johnny Manziel, met up at this Dallas hotel, and the night spiraled out of control. Dallas TV station WFAA reports that Crowley has since drafted an order of protection to be presented to a Texas judge. In that affidavit, Crowley told police she begged the valet to help as Manziel dragged her from the hotel.
See?
Please don't let him take me. I'm scared for my life. To which the valet reportedly said he didn't know what to do and let her leave with Manziel. In a police report obtained by News Channel 5, Crowley says Manziel was acting like he was on some kind of drugs and struck her several times on the drive to her apartment. When they got there, it escalated even more. WFAA reports Crowley told police Manziel told her to shut up or I'll kill us both. And only when she started toward him with a knife did he run away.
I heard her screaming.
Did you hear that, everybody? So Johnny Manziel is the one that's sitting up there making these statements.
Hey. Get out of my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey. Get out of my tunnel, boy. Get back on the field. Hey.
That's what he's saying about the young man, Nick Harbert, and his teammates. That was his excuse because he's a big-time alumni of the program, and he is sitting up there making excuses. But see, this is the thing, everybody. Johnny Manziel is not the only one that makes excuses, and Chad Ochocinco Raccoon Johnson is not the only one that sets up there in coons and buck dances and doesn't confront him on the things that he's saying using that boy tone, that boy word. But then one of your biggest raccoons and sellouts on the YouTube streets would be the man who calls himself Officer Tatum, although he ain't no damn officer no more. Brandon Tatum. Look at how Brandon Tatum tries to make excuses and spin a web of lies on this one right here. Watch this.
A&M is getting their handed to them at this point in the game. They came back and won.
It's a damn
Biggest comeback
shame.
in A&M history, actually. But they're getting whooped in this game. This guy just scored a crazy touchdown, which they're dogging them out. This looked like this is going to be the biggest blowout. Well, no,
oh my God,
Oklahoma beat A&M back when I was playing.
You can always
77-0,
find.
but it's almost going to be the second biggest blowout in college history.
You can always find a black person willing to sell out, buck dance for the cornbread, dance for the chicken, whatever it may be. How high do you want me to jump, master? Brandon Johnson has got to be one of the biggest buck dancers on the YouTube streets and in our country today. Let's listen to some rest of this nonsense. Listen clearly.
A&M is a school with a lot of pride.
Yeah, every school got pride.
You don't go into A&M Stadium and disrespect the Aggies. You just don't do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me clearly. Brandon Johnson is trying to make the excuse that the reason why this right here happened to these young men, as I play this video again, is because they went into the stadium and was trying to embarrass the team. They went into the stadium and they played very good They played very good football. They were beating the game, the Texas A&M soundly, but they ended up losing this game. The young man, Nick Harbor, who caught the ball and got the 80-yard run in, had something wrong with his hamstring. So that's why he ran into the tunnel. And even if they were celebrating, as I said earlier in this video, that was still no reason for that trooper to do what he did in confronting them in the way he did. He had no business doing that. But Brandon Tatum is trying to say that that's what gave the state trooper the right to do what he did, because they were trying to showboat and show the, listen to this crap again.
A&M is getting their handed to them at this point in the game. They came back and won. The biggest comeback in A&M history, actually. But they're getting whooped in this game. This guy just scored a crazy touchdown, which they're dogging them out. This looked like this is going to be the biggest blowout. Well, now Oklahoma beat A&M back when I was playing 77-0. But it's almost going to be the second biggest blowout in college history. A&M is a school with a lot of pride. You don't go into A&M Stadium and disrespect the Aggies. You just don't do it.
Who said that the South Carolina Gamecocks and these young men went into the stadium and showed them up? They went into the stadium and they played a football field, manu on the field. They were beating Texas A&M. There was no one showboating in this particular situation. So once again, Brandon Johnson will lie. He'll stretch the truth. He'll try to manipulate what the situation really is to try to always put black people down. It's always, just like Jason Woodlock did on his video, it's always about making the black male look like the perpetrator of violence, when in this particular case, the perpetrator of violence was this state trooper who pushed into them looking to agitate something. But you can always find a sellout on the YouTube streets that would tell you that crap of BS. Now, let me end this video, this podcast, with Ryan Clark, who breaks it down the best, in my opinion, of this situation. He's an ex-NFL football player, played college football. He knows how this works. You've got Brandon Johnson. Yeah, he played at Arizona. He played football for a short while, didn't play in the NFL. But the thing about these black conservatives, they always find a reason to punch down on black people just to prop themselves up to white people. And the funny thing about it, white folks that they're always kissing the butt of don't even like them too. You already heard Nick Fuentes. I don't like what Nick Fuentes is a racist too, but Nick Fuentes already said that he's tired of the black Uncle Toms. He's tired of the Brandon Tatums. He's tired of the, Candace Owens of the world. Okay. Now let's listen to someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. Let's listen to Ryan Clark, everybody. Let's get at it right now. Let's get at it right now. This guy knows what he's talking about. Give him a little clap. And let's bring Ryan Clark in here.
What happened at the Texas A&M South Carolina football game is unacceptable for an officer who was there to protect everyone in the stadium to walk toward those young players with that level of aggression, that level of intention, that level of purpose, and that purpose being nothing for good is something that just can't happen. And now, if you are these young men's parents, this is worst case scenario for you. This is something you've coached your kids through. You've told them how to behave. You told them what to say. You've told them how to look. And you've told them all of these things just to stay alive. And so now in this situation, someone who is in that stadium to protect them is the aggressor. And here's my biggest problem with the whole thing. There was 100,000 people in the stands. There were two entire football teams. And here's my biggest problem with the whole thing. There was 100,000 people in the stands. There were two entire football teams on the field, and there were millions of people watching on TV. So what kind of decisions does this officer make when no one is watching, when there are no immediate consequences? And thank God that Texas A&M acted extremely quickly to at least try to rectify the situation so everyone on that football field and in those stands could feel safe. But this is a cautionary tale. This is a warning. There are those people that feel so entitled and so empowered.
Ryan Clark is 100% correct. Out of all the videos of people talking about this in terms of people that have played professional, he has broken it down, has made the most sense, in my opinion, out of this whole situation of people that have talked about this.
Have that level of audacity and also intoxication of power that they believe are above law. It's not just about protecting those young men on the field, which is something we have to do. It's about protecting those young people in these streets, in these schools, that just walk around in everyday life from those who don't understand the power of the badge and the responsibility of it. Thank God today worked out the way it did, and we got a great SEC battle. But not every young man is so.
Peace. Everybody, do me the biggest favor here. Go ahead and share this video in all your social media. I think that I know people have come out with videos about this, but my video is different in the sense that I'm talking about Johnny Manziel, who is an ex-college football player at Texas A&M, was drafted as a first-round pick in the NFL, was a malcontent individual. This is a man who had all kind of problems off the field and he dropped to the 15th pick in the round to the Cleveland Browns. Yet we have someone like Shedeur Sanders, who did not come out of college with all type of baggage, and he gets pushed to the 5th round with 144 pick. I have a problem with that because I believe there's some bias in that. But Johnny Manziel runs his mouth and says, "Get off our field, boy." He's really speaking how he really feels, okay? And this is just the truth, everybody. I want everybody to do me the biggest favor again and share this video on all your social media. Let people know about the video, about the channel. Once again, thank you for watching. Like and comment on this video when you get a chance. I'm gonna say again, subscribe because we appreciate that. And you know what, everybody? We're gonna get ready to get on out of here.
Oh, yeah. To hell with Johnny Manziel. Oh, racist ass motherfucker. Oh, dolphin ass. Right. All right, so moving along. The Black conservative BOOTLICCS are down bad. So, brother Chris Crazy House, otherwise known as Mad Black TV, the most dangerous and most toxic black men on the internet. So, give us an update on that.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you that all these butter biscuits were going to run out eventually, but you didn't listen, and now your ass has become the laughing stock of the internet. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So the black conservatives are doing bad right now, folks. I don't know if you've noticed, but they are down bad when it comes to their presence on social media. And, you know, you have some of the major league black conservatives. They're either at war with their white conservative counterparts, or they're being chased away by their own white bigot audience. And you have some of the minor league black conservatives, the ones that fester on YouTube and TikTok and other social media platforms. A lot of them have just become the laughing stock of social media. A lot of them are not doing as well, or if anyone is paying them any attention, is to make fun of them or to call them out for their buffoonery. That has what's been going on now with the black conservative. And, you know, as I've witnessed all of this, it actually gave me a thought, like, these black conservatives would have been better off if they had campaigned and hoped that Kamala Harris was the winner of the last presidential election. It'd have been better for them if she had won, because at least then that would have given them something to focus on outside of their own inadequacy. Like they could have built platforms off of being the Black conservative attack dog against not only the Black community, but also who's in the White House right now. But because their guy won, because their boy Donald Trump won, they no longer have that as an avenue to keep themselves going. And you know, when MAGA won the last election, a lot of the white bigot MAGAs felt like, well, you know, we won this last election. We don't need these Negroes anymore to be shields for us. You know, a lot of these Black conservatives were just being used as shills and attack dogs and being used to, you know, go out there and attack the Black community and say all the racist things that these white bigots really want to say, but they don't want to be accused of racism. So they send these Negro conservatives out there to do it. So now that MAGA has actually won, and you have so many of these white bigots out here who just feel free and emboldened and empowered to come out and just be an open racist in this, you know, society, they don't feel like they need you Negroes anymore. They don't need you conservative Negroes out there doing all of the legwork for them. They can do it themselves. They can come out and say that they hate Black people themselves. They can come out and talk about, you know, Black people being on welfare or Black people having less intelligence. They can come out and talk about Black people being criminals and whatnot. They don't need you Negroes out there to do it for them anymore. So a lot of these Negroes are getting kicked to the curb. A lot of them are being pushed to the side. A lot of them are being defunded. And it's funny as hell to me. Like what's really funny is where a lot of these Black conservatives are finding out for the first time that white people don't like them either. Like there's a lot of them out there right now who are being called racial terms or being torn apart by their own audience. Like the people that they were putting on a pedestal, the white bigots that they were catering to, have now turned on them. So a lot of them are now feeling the brunt of the hate and all of the negative energy that they put out there about Black people. A lot of that is being turned around on them now. And it's funny as hell to me to see this. But, you know, a lot of them think that, I guess they feel like if they call out the racism now, that the Black community at large or whoever is going to come to their defense. And I'm letting you Negroes know, a lot of you conservative Negroes, that boat has sailed. You're not going to get any help from the Black community because you want to scream racism all of a sudden. It's too late for that. All right. And this is what people like myself, us, you know, quote unquote pro-Blacks, told you Negroes years ago, was that if you keep doing this nonsense that you're doing, the only thing you're going to do is isolate yourself from your community, and you're going to make yourself an easy target for these white bigots when they get tired of you. And that's exactly what's happened. Think about this. You Negroes spent your entire life and your entire social media career tearing down your own community and saying stuff like racism doesn't exist. You know, there's only a few bad people out there, but racism as a whole doesn't exist. You spent your whole life doing that and making it seem as if you were accepted within the white community. But now that they have turned on you, now you're trying to run back to us saying, hey, listen, you know, these white people are being racist against me because, you know, I support Israel, or these white MAGAs are being racist towards me because they said they don't need my help when it comes to getting votes for Trump anymore. They're being racist against me. They won't let me back into the party, right? Like I said before, they don't need you Negroes anymore. So, you know, you try to come to us and say, hey, they're being racist against us, or, you know, these people are attacking me. You're not going to find any sympathy from the Black community. In fact, a lot of us are going to either laugh at you, or if you're like me, I'm celebrating their downfall. I'm glad that that's happening because, once again, I knew it was coming. I told you it was going to happen. I warned you several times and you did not listen. You thought it was all to the good to be up under white folks and be their crawling dog and be their attack dog against the black community. So now you have to suffer those same consequences. The same hate and the same nonsense and the same propaganda that you put out there against your own people, now that is going to come back and bounce on you. They're going to start telling you that you are not that intelligent. And I've seen that all over social media recently, where a lot of these clowns who have been buck dancing for white people for so long, like people like Brandon Tatum, are being called dumb by his own white audience and being called a traitor and the N-word and everything else. Like his white bigger audience is tearing him up because of his support of Israel, right? And you even got other people who are on that spectrum, people like the Hodge twins and Tyrone Magnus. People just laugh at them now. Like I've seen even like white content creators who normally don't focus on these buffoons doing videos about them, talking about how dumb they are or how they, don't take these people seriously anymore because these people are, well, the white creators call them grifters. They're just saying basically all these black conservatives are just grifting and trying to, find a slot somewhere in order to get the, the white anti-woke money, right? But for the most part, no one acknowledges them or takes them seriously as someone to listen to. And the most they think of is that these people are just there to be made fun of. These people are clowns. And a lot of you are. A lot of you black conservatives are clowns. You're buffoons. You're walking minstrels. Basically because that's what you chose to be. You chose to be out here tap dancing for white supremacy. And now that white supremacy feels that it is strong enough, it doesn't need you Negroes as foot soldiers anymore. It has moved you to the side and decided that it's going to do all its own bigotry work itself. And it's funny as hell to see that. Like, it's funny, like recently I've seen black conservatives like Rob Smith and whatnot trying to, get back in the good graces of the MAGA party by saying like, you're allowing these bigots out here like Nick Fuentes and others to push away the minorities in your group. Like, no, fool. The bigots have always been there. The bigots were there supporting you when you were attacking the black community. You see, the bigots have always been there, but now because they have turned on you, because basically, like I said, they won. They won the election, so they don't need you Negroes. You're the one that thought you were special. You're the one that thought you were in, but now you're finding out that these people could care less about you. And like Professor Black Truth always says, white supremacy always breaks its tools. It will use its tools in order to accomplish a goal, but once they are done with that goal, they will throw their tools to the side. And that's what's happened to a lot of you Negroes. So once again, a lot of you fools would have been way better off if Kamala Harris had won, because then you could have just kept on doing all your little buck dancing videos on social media talking trash about black people, and that would have been good enough for your white bigot audience, because your white bigot audience would have been so focused on trying to attack the Democrats or attack Kamala Harris in her every move, right? But now they don't have that. They got the Tangerine in there, and he's the ultimate fuck up. Let's be honest about that. The Tangerine has done some of the most egregious things, and it hasn't even been a full term yet. He's coming to the end of his first year during his term, and he's royally fucked the country up, right? People are out of work. People are out here literally starving, right? And the Congress is all fucked up. But, the Tangerine, he can't think of anything to do except for, go on trips to Asia and, have parties when he comes back and fall asleep during, meetings at the White House. That's all he cares about, right? He doesn't care about the actual people. So it's a mess now. And that's what happens when you have egocentric maniac as your leader. You took the class clown and made him the class president, and then wonder why your school is falling apart, right? So for a lot of these black conservatives out here, a lot of them are scrambling. Like, it's funny because I've seen some of them still trying to, keep the same MO. Like they feel like if they just keep on the coon train and keep on attacking black people, then that'll be good enough, to maintain their audience. Like, people like Anton Daniels, and what is this buffoon's name? I don't know his name, but he looks like the Jackal Man from the Thundercats cartoon. Like, if you remember Thundercats, that's what this fool looks like. It looks like he has a messed up hairline, and looks like he has like pubic hairs glued onto his face for his facial hair, right? He was at that No Kings protest not too long ago. He got his ass whooped by the white protesters there, and he was crying racism then when they went upside his little messed up hairline and made it look even worse. But this Negro right here, he's like Anton Daniels. They're still trying to just talk trash about the black community, and hopefully they'll be able to get through this turbulent time for the buck dancers, but it's not working, right? Like, even recently, like, he tried to blame black people or blame the black community because this black mammy in, what was it? Was she running for like governor in Virginia or something like that? She lost, and he's blaming the black community for that, saying like, why you Negroes didn't still voted Democrat. But like Negro, don't you realize your own Lord and Master, President Tangerine, didn't endorse this black woman? He didn't do any campaigning for her. He was too busy hanging out in Asia, getting gold crowns and gold golf clubs from the Asians over there, and too busy falling asleep and having his little party like his 1999 party at the White House, and building new wings onto the White House, new ballrooms and whatnot. That's what President Tangerine is worried about, right? Having a party and wasting everyone's money on bullshit and giving American money away to these corporations. But he was too busy doing that to worry about this mammy running for governor. And this clown right here with the pubes on his face was trying to blame the black community for that. But once again, he doesn't know what else to do, right? Like, he's one of these buffoons who's not too bright, and he's been given marching orders. But at this point, the people that he's trying to satisfy and the people that he's trying to please, they're not really giving out cash prizes and butter biscuits like they used to. Because once again, they don't need this Negro anymore. He came at the wrong time. He should have started maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's ruined it now. But people like him and Anton Daniels, they're still doing their best to find these negative black news stories and post those all over their social media and talk bad about black people and black women and whatever. But it's not working like it used to, because once again, most people can see these fools as clowns. Even I've noticed a lot of young black people are now starting their own pages and starting to call out these black conservatives, and I appreciate that. I'm glad it's not just me and people like Torian Rain and others calling out these buck dancers anymore. I'm glad there's more people out there that are, pushing back against this nonsense. It gives me joy to see that, and I hope it keeps going. And once again, considering that this is only Trump's first year during his second term, it's funny that how things have gone and changed so drastically. It's funny because I think things are going to get even worse as time goes on. So you folks can let me know how you feel about the buck dancers and the bootlicks out here, and how they're just not doing too well on the conservative side. Let me know some of the failures and the fall offs you've seen within the black conservative side. This is Mad Blacc, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.
Right on, Mad Blacc TV, for that awesome commentary. Yeah, the hell with those bootlicks, especially them conservatives. Like Professor Black Truth always says, white supremacy, when it's done with you, it always breaks its tools. All right, crew, are you back? Crew. Earth Page and crew. Crew reality. Okay, he's still muted. All right, well, I gotta continue the show. So moving on, we got Pras, the Fugees, convicted. Will Haitians ride for him? We shall see. So Professor Black Truth gonna give us an update on that.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Talk about the day the music died. Pras Michel of the Fugees is going to the clink for 14 years. A couple of years ago, he caught 10 federal felonies, including illegal campaign contributions and failure to register as an agent of China and witness tampering. This week, he was convicted on all charges. What prosecutors said was that he had obtained over $120 million from a Malaysian billionaire, Low Take Joe, also known as Joe Low, and he steered some of that money through straw donors to Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. The feds say that Michel also tried to stop a Justice Department investigation of Lowe, and he tampered with 2 witnesses and perjured himself at trial. Now, as everybody knows, I'm not into music, and I really couldn't tell you what subgenre that the Fugees are in, but given these charges, it's probably gangster rap. With some foreigner who's using his money to influence U.S. elections, you would think that the feds would be after this Joe Low character in particular, and they are. They recovered over $1 billion of money that this guy swindled when he was pretending to be running a government development program for the Malaysians. But in reality, he was just stealing billions of dollars, and then he went on the lam. Low Joe has since been charged with conspiring to launder the funds and violating the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. A U.S. arrest warrant has been issued for him, but he remains at large. It's not known exactly where he is, but it's rumored that he's in China. So this guy is the big fish that the feds should be after. And with Donald Trump always whining about China every 5 minutes, you would think that he would be putting some pressure on them to get this guy extradited to the United States. But as usual, the white media is making sure that a black person is going to be turned into the face of this particular scandal. That's their stock in trade. This prosecution began during the Biden administration back in 2023. And now it's been concluded under Trump. There's just so many immigrants wrapped up in all this. Michel, Low Joe, Barack Obama. It needs to be spoken on. Speaking of immigrants, I also find it interesting that the white media made sure to mention that although Michel himself was born in Brooklyn, his parents are immigrants from Haiti. I gotta wonder how many of the Fugees fans were aware of that little factoid. And whether or not this guy's parents happen to be from Haiti or not, that is something that we should discuss, because in their opening statement, the federal prosecutors portrayed Michel as being cash-strapped and willing to do the bidding of a foreign government in exchange for a payday. And the feds weren't the only ones portraying this guy as having no money. His own defense attorney reminded jurors that Michel had grown up in poverty before he founded the Fugees. This is interesting because the story that we get from the tethers and foreign flags is that all the immigrants come to the U.S. with pocket lint, and the very first generation, they go from rags to riches. They become millionaires overnight, that the people who get off the boats are all so hardworking, and they know how to get money. And well, those foundational black Americans, they're just lazy and dumb and unambitious, etc. Well, in the case of Pras Michel, this certainly wasn't true. His parents refugeed to the U.S., and they didn't have any money and didn't acquire any because Michel's own father said that he grew up in poverty and didn't make any money until he started the Fugees. So that first generation story is false. And that's how his own defense attorney portrayed him. On the federal side, it was even worse. They said that he was cash-strapped and willing to do whatever a foreign government wanted because he needed a payday. So after all of the years or decades that he spent on tour, or the hundreds of millions of records that the Fugees allegedly sold, in the end, Pras Michel apparently ran out, didn't have anything to show for it. So I guess that's the reason why we don't have a whole lot of those foreign flags and tethers who are trying to stick up for this guy. It doesn't fit their narrative. I know that not all immigrants say things like that. We have immigrants right here in the B1 who definitely don't, but we have to be honest. The majority do talk like that. They push the whole immigrant success story thing as a way to do self-validation. But they always make sure that while they're patting themselves on the back for victories real or imagined, they want to make sure that they take shots at us. And the talking point is usually, these foreigners come here and they're financially successful after one generation. So what's wrong with you Negroes? What's wrong with you black people? The reality, of course, is that we see plenty of immigrants who are anything but successful. You go to any of the major cities where the immigrants happen to collect, and you're going to find a lot of them who are either on some form of government assistance or in many cases on the streets. And their definition of success, quote unquote, is usually working for the government in some capacity or another, working for the government or some place that's government adjacent, like a school or something. They don't become millionaires overnight by and large, only a few do. In many cases, success simply means having a job. And while there's nothing wrong with that, there is something wrong with somebody deciding that they're going to use getting a job, which may be the first they've ever had, with somehow being better than the people who made it possible for them to even be here. But the truth always comes to the surface. Pras Michel grew up poor, like most immigrants. His parents were not some success story, because most immigrants are not a success story. But the problem is they have so many hateful and spiteful immigrants who claim that because they're desperate to ingratiate themselves with white power. That's how they intend to get themselves out of poverty. What I'd like to know is, Pras Michel, being a Haitian American, where's his community to stick up for him? I'm talking about the one that normally would be claiming him under any other circumstances, because not surprisingly, they're laying low right now. We all know that if Pras Michel had gotten himself elected to office, or if he had made like some sort of big, legitimate business deal with some legitimate Malaysian businessman, these exact same immigrants who aren't saying anything right now, they would normally be coming out the woodwork bragging about Haitians are so successful, so uniquely successful. Well, if you want to take collective credit for someone's success based on their incidental origins, then you also have to take collective blame when things like this happen. Keep in mind, the same people who claim to be so proud of their fellow immigrants also make sure to say that if someone's second or third generation, well, that doesn't matter. They're still Haitian, Nigerian, Jamaican, fill in the blank, etc. People like Candace Owens, who were born in the U.S., go out of their way to identify as Caribbean. And that being the case, if you want to go ahead and try to claim that somebody who was born in the U.S. is actually Nigerian, actually Haitian, etc., then times like this, you got to say the exact same thing. That's not an American who did that. That's a Haitian who did that. Now, what comes next for Pras Michel, since he's going to have a lot of free time on his hands? After the whole mini saga between Diddy and Trump, will he or will he not pardon them? There's some who are probably wondering if they should reach out to Trump and see if maybe he'll pardon Michel's conviction. I can tell you right now, that would be a mistake. Donald Trump is anticipating that the lawfare campaign against him will resume as soon as he leaves office. So one of his goals has been to put as many cases on his political enemies as he can. He was dogged throughout his first term by claims that Russia was helping his campaign. Well, now here's a confirmed case where Barack Obama's campaign was getting millions illegally from a foreigner. I have to wonder, though, what are the chances that the orange man might decide to follow up on this case and say, well, Obama got money from a foreigner, it was illegal, and it needs to be fully investigated. We need hearings. We need a special prosecutor because of all the things they said about me that wasn't true. But here, this is the real thing that actually happened. I think it's worth mentioning this story because this is the kind of thing that Trump might want to use as fodder. This possibility doesn't seem to have come up on a lot of people's radars, but it's come up on mine. So I'd like to ask, where is Pras Michel's community at? Because if the orange man decides to go after Obama with this or try to generate some sort of case, we'll be asking the same question about him too. Where are the Kenyans at to stick up for the first Kenyan president of the United States? Because when he got elected back in 2008, you had all these folks in Africa who were jumping up and singing and dancing and celebrating as if they had won something. Then again, when you look at Obama's policies, particularly regarding immigration, I think maybe they were onto something. But regardless, it seems that if things hold true, Pras Michel's not going to be out of prison until he's ready for retirement. What a shame. Pras Michel's final record is going to be a criminal one. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Suleiman Alaji, James Greene, Darren Nooks, Reasonable Dude, and Black Rye. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
Oh, Crew, are you back? He's trying to let you in, but I don't. You're muted. Let's see, my dope is loud as hell. Okay. I see you backstage. I let you back up. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Pras is going to jail for a long time. Oh well, maybe the Haitians will come through for him. Alright, so the last topic. How did you get? Oh, you're still in there. God. I forgot your shit. Your little ass is still in here. Oh, you went to sleep. That's fine. I don't know. Okay, come on, Aurora. Come on. Come on, boy. You're free. Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'm gonna get to the last topic, and that is Haitian American U.S. representative indicted for stealing millions. Is this a black issue? So this broad was embezzling, stealing all kinds of taxpayer dollars down, I want to say, in Georgia. She's been indicted. We're going to give us an update on that. And then that'll be the end of this part 2 continuation of the Frontline Black News.
Subscribe. Like and subscribe. As the first Haitian American Democrat elected to Congress, the only Haitian American in Congress, I can tell you sincerely that this is a hard time for us. For so many years, we had other people telling our narrative, other people talking about Haiti and talking about Haitians. This is an opportunity for us to take back our narrative and to let the American people know how much we appreciate what the United States has done for us and how our commitment is only reinvigorated to be here working with everyone. And I'd like to tell all the Haitian Americans who are living in fear right now that there should be no fear, no tolerance, and no place for it.
We are definitely an example of the American dream.
That was Sheila Sherpalis McCormick in 2022, when she was the first Haitian American from South Florida to win a seat in Congress. Now the Democratic Congresswoman finds herself in trouble with the law. The Department of Justice announcing she was indicted by a federal grand jury in Miami, accusing her of stealing $5 million in federal disaster money.
I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, Black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support, and we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation in Congress.
Where are my people in Florida? Where are my Florida people? Did y'all hear about this congresswoman down in Florida? Her name is Sheila Sherpalis McCormick. All right. She's with the Congressional Black Caucus. She was the second Haitian woman to become a member of Congress, something like that. Duval County. She's Duval County. Yeah. So she's part of the Congressional Black Caucus. Even when I saw her face, they said, she's gotten caught up in a scandal where they said she finessed like $5 million. She's caught up in a big scandal right now. And when I saw her image, I said, oh, she kind of looked Caribbean. Even just the way she kind of looked Caribbean. And what happened, from what I understand, some of the details of the case, there's a family-owned business called Trinity Healthcare Service linked to her, and they received a $5 million overpayment from the Federal Emergency Management Agency under a COVID vaccination staffing contract. So instead of these funds being returned, they're saying that the money was misused. So they're saying that her and her co-defendants, they co-conspired to steal the overpayment, and they routed the money through multiple accounts to disguise the origin. And they used some of the money to support her 2021 congressional campaign. And they said that the scheme allegedly involved so-called straw donors, friends or relatives of the defendants that gave campaign contributions that were actually funded with the finessed money. So they're charging her with making and receiving illegal campaign contributions and money laundering and theft of government funds and conspiracy to file false tax returns and making false statements. So yeah, it was they were over there finessing. Oh, they were finessing. And I saw her. I said, oh, she looks like an island gal. And sure enough, people pulled the receipts. When she got elected for Congress, boy, they were yelling at the top of their lungs, Haitian, Haitian, Haitian. Oh, the second Haitian woman, they were screaming Haiti. They were screaming it at the top of their lungs. She's Haitian, 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 proud Haitian, Haiti, 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 Haiti. They were just going buck wild with Haiti, Haiti, Haiti. When she got in the Congressional Black Caucus, Haiti, 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 Haiti. Haitian woman, Haitian woman. Now that she got caught in this scandal, well, she was out here talking about, yeah, they're targeting, they target us blacks and black and brown and minorities. She black. Now she got caught up in a damn indictment. Now she hollering about they done hit her up because she black. Black. No, we're not doing that. No. She ain't saying nothing about Haiti now. She ain't saying nothing about Haiti. I wish I could play the interview where she was talking like, black and, they're doing this to black minorities, minority women. This is what they do to black and brown. She didn't say nothing about Haiti. Now Haiti ain't in it no more. No. Keep it Haitian. Now, if you get a Haitian win, hold that L when you take an Haitian loss. Hold that L. Take that loss with you. Don't dump it on us. Oh, no. Don't dump it on us. No. We're not playing that game. And like I tell people, this is what they like to do. That frozen leaf. What are you talking? Hold on. Frozen leaf, hop on, man. Hop on. Because you're doing a lot of trollish, oppish stuff in the rooms. Just hop on, brother. If you got something to say. Frozen leaf, hop on. Yeah, you're not just going to be doing all that trolling in the chat room, bro. You either get on or we're going to block you. You got 10 seconds to get on up. All right? You got 10 seconds or we're going to block you. What's up, Court? How you doing, Court? Shout out to the lovely Court. But family, what you got to understand.
Greetings, Lady Che.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I had to finish up the show from yesterday, so I was finishing it up. No, that's after City Council.
That's stupid.
And Vicky Diller's webinar.
You're missing up the whole schedule, guys.
What do you mean? How am I messing up the schedule?
Yes, you're messing up the whole schedule.
How?
With City Council Day.
There's really no City Council today. I mean, they have general public comment. That's it. After that, that's it. There's no public hearings.
Carry on with your shenanigans. What's up here?
Crew.
Who else is that?
That's Crew. Crew
Under your page?
Yeah.
With the flag?
Yes.
Oh, right. I don't know why you were messing all our shit up, so I figured it out now. Just can't stay off the goddamn computer, guys.
No, I had a topic I did last night, Lady J. I was trying to finish it up.
So, what? You always have topics left over. That's what you do the next night.
That's what that was.
That's what you plan your routine. Because you just have to be special. When am I ever going to do mine? Because I just want to know. Because I really called for that.
When
I didn't want to do my show. I saw you were live. And I just started bomb rush thing.
When you get your internet back on or you get over here, one of the two.
I'm going over there if you're going to do another live, guys. It's pointless. Anyway, what's the topic?
Haitian indicted for embezzling $5 million.
Neat. Carry on. I'm going to go on mute real quick, okay? Then you don't hear the background noise. I bet. I'm listening.
These folks love pulling that ethnic. We have to stop them from doing that. And thankfully, a lot of people are calling this woman out for being Haitian. A lot of people are actually calling her out. Oh, no, don't be black now. You're Haitian. Let's stay Haitian. These non-FBA politicians and these public figures, they love to emphasize their immigrant heritage when they're being honored, when they're being elected, when they are reaching some kind of career milestone. And the media outlets, they celebrate these moments with them. They give them national pride, the whole shebang. Now, when a controversy pops up, blanket blackness. And they expect solidarity and protection from the brother. And we're just cool on that selective use of identity. That we're cool on that. This is why delineation is popping. So people can stop all of this flip-flopping, flim-flammy ass ethnic identity stuff. We're going to put a hard line down there. If we do something janky, we got to eat it. It's Foundation of Black Americans. We'll eat it. Oh, that's what it is. We'll eat that. But if we do something positive, we're going to take that FBA win too. And we got a lot of wins under our belts. See, these other groups, they like to do a lot of strategic distancing from Foundation of Black American struggle until it's convenient. You know?
Man, why your mic so loud?
They go out of their way to basically avoid involvement in issues that's central to Foundation of Black Americans, like reparations, lineage-based justice.
It's just an echo. It's not on my end. I was on mute. I think Jesse's still in here. I can't tell.
Yeah,
you sound like you in the shower or something, on the beach or something.
Not me. I'm on the mute. That wasn't me.
Speed it up, crew.
Okay, that was not me. As I told him, I'm going on mute.
That was Jesse? That was Jesse?
Obviously, it was not me. It wasn't me either. I was on mute until you called my name.
You hear all that?
Oh, that might have been me.
Like I said, I was on mute.
Okay. Man, you know, I'm just a sound man. I just be trying to help y'all out.
Yeah,
no disrespect or nothing. I just be trying to help y'all out.
Yeah, no, it's all on me. I'm listening.
Okay.
See, I hear it again.
Anti-Black American policies, they'll sidestep all of that so they can avoid being too closely associated with what they see as Black American problems. But when they get caught up in a scandal or some kind of wrongdoing, they're racism. It's racism, and it's because I'm black. We is black. We all got to stick together as black people. See how they be doing us black people?
See, lady,
You weren't
Che,
saying that when you
Che,
were
lady,
in
Che.
office. The Congressional Black Caucus don't do nothing for foundational Black Americans and do everything for these immigrant groups.
Hold on.
So yeah, we ain't playing that game where y'all sit up here and roll the red carpet out for these other groups. But when you get caught up in a scandal, these people you roll the damn red carpet out for, your fellow immigrants, they don't do shit for you. They don't help you. Y'all always up in our damn face. Hey, look what they doing to us. Don't we have to stick together? Come on now. When y'all were giving out checks and resources, y'all weren't sticking together then. The hell. See, they like to use racial solidarity as a shield, but not a practice. See, they don't practice racial solidarity with us, but they're quick to exploit it. See, when they face a scandal, they like to try to appeal to a pan-black victimhood narrative. Look at how black people are treated globally, hoping that we're going to start circling the wagons around them. But yeah, in times of peace and power, they uplift their own flag, their own nation, their own culture, and they don't uplift blackness as a whole. So that's opportunistic racial code switching that we don't want. We ain't playing that no more. And don't let people shame us, family, for saying, hey, we cool. That's why we're sitting our ass down on immigration. We ain't jumping out there on the sword for nobody, and people are acting confused. We're looking out for our best interests and our own interests too. Yeah. See, that ethnic identity thing, that becomes a tool for exceptionalism until it backfires. See, these non-FBAs, they'll lean into that foreign identity and they'll portray themselves as the model minority within the Black collective. We work hard, we're family oriented, we're corruption free and all that shit. So they try to use that framing to suggest this superiority over foundational Black Americans. But when these scandals pop off, that same identity is downplayed or they just don't say nothing about it at all. Then they suddenly become victims of the same so-called anti-Blackness that they've previously distanced themselves from. So the fallback to Blackness when they have a scandal, it's not about unity, it's about deflection. See, the only time they want unity is when something janky happens to them and they need protection. That's the only time. Then they try to shame us. The CIA has you niggas delineating because you don't want unity. Y'all go out of your way to distance yourselves from us. You don't want unity unless something's down bad for you. And we're not trying to play super Negro to you all the time. Yeah? We ain't in this ethnic group all the time. But when we do it, because you need us to circle the wagons when things go bad, they try to use foundational Black Americans as like an insurance policy. You don't want to pay your premiums, but when you get in an accident, you call us. Hey, man, I'm down. You don't have no coverage with us. That's what we're saying. You ain't got no coverage. Yeah, your policy ran out. And that's what they're learning now. A lot of these people that have this, your insurance policy with us ran out. You ain't getting coverage. We ain't out there in the immigration fight. You scamming, and we ain't out there to step up for you. Well, hey, stop scamming. How about that? So Blackness is useful. See, when they're celebrating these non-FBA politicians, they're only invite members of their own ethnic community to their events. They promote their own flag, their language. They collaborate with their ethnic media outlets and their events and narratives that basically rooted in their national pride, not a Black collective progress. But when there's a scandal or a crisis, the outreach becomes real generalized. Oh, they coming at me because I is Black. You know? No. See, yeah, they're invisible when we bleed, but Black when they're in need. Yeah. When foundational Black Americans, we get harmed by the police, we get targeted by systematic injustice, we get deprived of resources. These non-FBA politicians and figures, they're silent. They're even critical of our demands. You know, but when they're in trouble, they borrow our struggle. You know, they borrow our struggle. And see, ethnic gatekeeping, when they're in power, that's what they like to roll with. But they like to be inclusive when there's a scandal. See, when these Haitians, Caribbeans, Jamaicans, and Nigerians, they rise to political power, they'll install their fellow immigrants into key positions. They'll form all of these tight-knit ethnic cliques. Y'all see what they're doing in Minnesota. Nigga, that shit is like Captain Phillips. They done brought all their people into the political realm, all them Somalis. You know? They do this. Whenever they get into certain positions, they start delineating and bringing in all their people. They start ethnic gatekeeping on everybody. They don't do no pan-Black empowerment. Now, when they get caught up in some kind of wrongdoing, now they start hollering for us. You know? But for real, even at your job, if you're at a job and you got a foreign supervisor, I can guarantee there's other foreigners working at that job in key positions. Let your supervisor
Casey want to say it. He just don't want to say it.
Hospital, Filipino or whatever.
Say. Casey want to say it. He just don't want to say it.
In all the parking structures.
What did Casey want to say?
What did Casey want to say? Say it, Casey.
No, I'm listening to what I don't even know.
Casey said what say what you're saying. Please.
No, I was just expressing the thought. Just like people just say this our land so much.
Speak up.
They say this our land, but we tie ourselves to the system more than the actual land. You know, the system that runs the land. You know, like why we need to take the actual land, goddamn it, like damn the system. You know, like wow.
Well, you can't do that. We gotta take the system because we're the ones that created the system. In all actuality, it's built off of us. We're the ones that it's all built off.
You scared? Oh God damn it, lady! Tay, you scared Casey off?
Oh goodness gracious!
Hey, that's his problem if you want to leave. That's not my fault. I'm not weak-minded. I'm saying what I'm saying. It's built off of the backs of us. Or I'm wrong. The government is not built off of us. We didn't build it. We didn't build up any of the infrastructure.
Casey just signed. Speak, Casey.
No, I'm listening to what she's saying.
Am I wrong though? Is that not the narrative?
No, you're not. But I'm just saying. But okay.
Carry on with the
that's gonna be a process. But what are we teaching foundationally? Are we still teaching to follow the system? No, we need to teach this.
No.
Get on this land. This land is ours.
What's happening is you got a lot of what I call cognitive dissonant miscreants. Okay, where they don't want to get unprogrammed. They're content in their bowing down with their own inner master, right? They don't want to come down. They don't want to get recodified. They don't want to get re-educated. So they want to go ahead and play these blasphemous games with us, right? When it's really simple. It's really simple. Power is taken. If you got a bunch of scared motherfuckers, they don't gonna take shit. Simple as that. Carry on. I'm sorry. Carry on.
But see, I was just talking like more like because you know how we rely on these systems so much. Like the days used to be tracked by the rising and setting of the sun, but now we got 24-hour clock and we got months, and that's even flawed because the month system, with the daylight savings and like, oh come on, man, are you serious? Like let's go back to how we used to, huh?
And I'm saying that same shit to just do this on slow. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And if you wanted to take the land, whose land are you going to take? See what I'm saying? Because it's all been retouched, repurposed, resold to whomever, and the right people ain't in the right lands. You see what I'm saying? Let alone how you gonna farm it and culture, how you create agriculture with no resources like reparations. It's one thing you take the whole land. There's people sitting on thousands and thousands and thousands of family acre land, and they're over there holding it down with a rifle. You see what I'm saying? And you got white people trying to put trains in their fucking area. There white people trying to put drilling and fracking in on their property. You know, and you got this handful of family out there with shotguns and fucking nines and shit, just ready to blow a motherfucker off. They're playing their shit, guarding it 24/7. They can't even rest. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff like that. If you're gonna do that, whose land are you gonna take? Or are you thinking of buying your own land? How's that gonna work?
Are you saying we living off the land? Is that what you're saying, Casey? Once we do acquire the land, because it's gonna take money to do that.
Right. So we need the land and the money. Cut the check, right?
Right. We need the reparations first. Then we can buy the land and do whatever we want with the land. But that's why we're focused on the politics, because we got these people in office that they're politicians. They're supposed to be doing our bidding, but yet they're not doing our bidding, so they got to go. So we put
No. Right. We're all there. For sure. Right. So Casey, I guess Casey a little shy, right?
I'm not really into
Right. Let's go to the live streaming and this, that. I'm like, we're live streaming right now. And I'm like, look, you were having a conversation with Lady Tate. That's the live stream right there. You get me? Like, that's the stream right there. But anyway, yes, we need what you said, Jesse. We need the land.
Yeah.
But we need the money to produce on the land.
Right.
Because if say God forbid something happens, and I have my mom's house, what can I do with it without no fucking seeds and no money?
Right.
I need to have money to buy the seeds to plant the goddamn tomatoes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Need people to help you do that too. You're gonna need manpower. You're gonna need labor to help you do that.
I done seen people, and and their houses are going down.
Right. So
their houses are going down because they don't have people helping them.
Right.
You get me? And it's like this house that was a great thing back in the day is not so much no more.
Well,
like folks need to be.
It's like this, Ray. It's like I'm gonna get mine, you go get yours type mentality. And when in all
Right, but
you don't need that though. I'm just saying that's what it is out there.
That's that backstabbing bullshit culture.
It is right now. Am I wrong? I'm saying something wrong.
No, that's only for them. Like, look, what we do out here, we help each other.
Right.
Like we help each other. Like if I see my brothers down, or this and that happen, or man, I got you.
Right. That's how it's supposed to
I
be.
I got you. We don't do that Nigerian backstabbing.
Right.
Hey,
you're down. You're down. Okay, let me come buy all your shit. No,
wait, hold on. Let me speak to Casey's point. I got a question. Here's a hypothetical question, right? If they cut the check today, just the case, just let him answer it real quick, because I see where he's going with it. I just want to make sure he's going in the same direction I'm going, right? All right. So let's say they cut the check, right? And they give you, I don't know, let's say 50 million. Let's say that, okay? Because it's up there, bro. It's up there right now. It's up there.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just say
50 million each, right?
I was like, give you and your family and the descendants, 50 million for say 10 years. Okay, that's enough to get you, your seeds, and their seeds through it. Okay, if you do it right. All right. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to go and are you going to go buy your own land? Because you got to buy the land, the water, and the air, and everything on that land for it to be successful. Or what are your plans? Are you planning on going to buy your descendants' land if they had any? What would you do with your piece?
I don't know. I haven't given it any thought. I gotta, 50 million. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure.
That's a random number I just threw out there. Hypothetically. Me, hypothetically. I would say my family
You gotta
is
have something. You gotta have something that you want to do.
right.
Period.
Got to.
Like it's something that, like, when you wake up, like at the end of my life, I need to do this shit. It's
Let's say
got to be something. Like me, personally, I need to raise my daughter. My daughter needs to be great as she got to be. It's something. It's something you wake up every morning and say, "God damn it, this is it." Otherwise, why would I wake up? So what
all
is
right.
the why do you wake up?
Hypothetically, this is what I would do. Well, first of all,
You
I
got
would make
all
sure
the money in the
armed
world.
weapons.
What the fuck do you do?
Okay, so me, if it's me, I'd make sure all
Same
my
thing.
arms are
Same thing I do
locked
with
and
no
loaded.
money.
Listen, stop.
You
Listen.
hear what he
I make
said?
sure
You
all
hear what he said? Same thing I do with no money.
I don't. Even when I didn't have no money, I would make sure all my weapons are locked and loaded. Right. I would tell the following family members. Right.
Well, first you got to buy weapons, right?
Well, she already
Or
got it.
D. Or
Right,
D.
right. First you got to buy weapons, though. Right.
You.
She
Right.
already,
First you got to buy the weapons.
money just
First you got to buy the weapons.
I make sure you got your ammo.
You just try not to misuse it. Money or two. I just don't want to misuse it. Hold on. Hey,
You got. You got to worry
Jesse and Lady Tay. Hey, Tay and Lady Tay. Do you
Yeah.
see? Do you see that picture that I'm using
You're all over the place, man.
as my avatar? That's my daughter and her friend.
It look like
Guess
you're
where
on.
we're at?
It look like you're on the
That's
beach.
where right now. Oh,
Huh?
traveling.
Wait, you're on the lake shore.
Look at that. Look at my avatar. Nigga, that's Elmina.
Oh, you're in Ghana.
That's Elmina, my daughter and her friend.
Okay.
Check it out. I have no
In Elmina Castle, the slave castle.
So what? You're gonna buy up Ghana if you have the money? Like,
And you see that gun right there?
yeah.
Ah, stop playing with me.
I Elmino Castle is what you're saying?
Money. That picture. My avatar is at. I'm on top of Elmina Castle next to a cannon. Yes. That's Ray Gun, Little Gun, and Little Gun's friend next to a gun on Elmina Castle.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right. Can we get back on topic, Ray? Shit. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry about that.
That's just I just talking shit. That's right.
Let me finish my statement, cuz. All right. So this is what I would do. This is what I would do. Okay. I would make sure all my weapons are armed. Right. I make a phone call or fucking SOS signal. Something to get out to, like, somewhere to, like, say Ray, Jay, Sister B. You know, my people, right? And to get them all in one and to make sure they know where to meet up at, right? Because not everybody's going to have all the resources. I'm not going to have all the resources, but I might have access to some resources. My sister might have some resources, but she don't have all the access. Jesse might have this, but he might not have that. So so-and-so
That's
has
how we're supposed to use. All right, just like
yeah, so-and-so has a bunker and I got all the medicine. You see what I'm saying?
remember who got the? Ain't we doing the new Green book?
Yeah.
We're on Rolodex. Black Truth United. Yeah.
Black Truth
Right,
United.
same thing, right?
So maybe I could do graphics. Red Joker can do the AI shit. You hear me? Is somebody else that know how to go hunting? Is somebody else that know how to do tripwires? Is somebody else that know how to do? You hear me?
Cameras, yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, when they do cut the check, you don't think you have to think ahead of what they're gonna do or what could happen. We're talking about, oh yeah, we'll stimulate the economy. Knowing good goddamn well, we can tell the whole economy to fuck themselves. We're so creative, we can dress ourselves. You know what I mean? We could build our own fucking vehicle.
Yeah, we could, Lady Che, but the majority of our people is not going to do that. All they're going to do is respend the money back into.
But how many of us? How many of our people does it actually take to get shit done?
Not very many.
It really only takes. It only takes like the concentrated few, like the 10%, right?
Right.
That's what I was telling. That's what I'm saying to you, Casey. Because the power is taken, right? So you got the motherfuckers that are like this, like me. For people like Alpha. Who else? That are God forgive me.
Black
Professor Black Truth. God, come on, Jesse, help me, man. Black Truth United. The Church of Black Power. Right? All these people, right? They have really strong voices. We can tell you. A lot of people got really strong voices, but then you separate those, and you said the strongest ones that know how to say no, and know how to be really demanding, and know how to really take power. And then you put those ones on first. And there are a handful, like less than 10. Less than 10 is enough to sway anything. It's enough to put any kind of doubt in. It's enough to shut anything down.
I think you're like talking to her. I think.
You hear me?
Hey, Lady Tay, I'm like, man, Casey respond because y'all will be talking all day. That'll be the stream.
No, man. I'm done talking. I'm just telling you.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
If Lady J and Casey were sitting here talking all day, is the world flat or?
Oh my God.
You know what, Ray?
Then you sit here talking all day, and we have the stream going like Lisa Cabrera, 24-hour stream.
And let everybody's brain
And
just
there
run.
goes.
I'll let everybody's brain just run like spaghetti. How about that? I'm going on mute now. I can just leave. I know I'm not wanted. I'm Debbie. Bye.
Hey, you see, I ain't shit, Jesse.
Why you run off Lady Che? Like, what the hell?
Oh man, I'm the only person that can run off Lady Che.
No, actually, it was just y'all. Go ahead, chop it up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
My bad.
They got a damn monopoly on that. But yeah, y'all in them hospitals, if there's a Filipino supervisor, there's going to be a whole floor of Filipinos. They're going to make sure to prioritize their group. You go to a hospital working there, there's a Jamaican supervisor.
That's what
there's
I
going to be a
said
bunch of damn
before.
Jamaicans
Why
working in
ain't
that
no black
hospital.
people working here?
In that same position on the
But
same floor.
Casey
They're going to bring
said
in
that
their
old
damn
lady
people.
working there.
They delineate and
The
practice
old black
ethnic
lady.
prioritizing all the damn time. And when we acknowledge our FBA lineage, what is this divisive? Divisive, nigga? You know? They start hollering about divisiveness. No. Who's this? Hold on. The foreign girl? Hop on in, foreign girl. Hop on in or you're going to get blocked. Say what you have to say. Say it with your hairy chest. There you go. Foreign girl, hop on in. Where you at? No, you're not going to just say stuff. Hop on in. The foreign girl, hop on in. You're not going to say stuff in the chat room and then run and hide like you hiding from ICE. No. I sent you an invite. Hop on in here. Yeah, y'all can't do all that cowardly tether stuff in the chat. Y'all just being here saying stuff, and then when it's time to come up and stand on it, oh shit, Bumba Clyde. Now, if you got something to say, stand on it. All right? Come on in and stand on business. All right? Or you're going to get that thing blocked up in here. All right? Let me get some people up in here. Y'all raise your hand, family. People in the chat room, raise your hand if you're ready to get on, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand if you're ready to get on. Gumbo, hop on in, Gumbo. If you're ready to get on, raise your hand. Yes, a few of them talking crazy in the chat room. Hop on in. Yeah, hop on in and talk to me. Raise those hands. Okay, old dirty bastard, I'm trying to get you. It's not letting me get you in. All right. Come on. Let me see. Y'all raise those hands. Cold Chief. What's up, Cold Chief? Let me try to get you in. A lot of this stuff is going real fast. Hold on, damn it. Black Big Creek. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get y'all in here. Let's get Old Dirty. Let's get. I'm gonna just invite a bunch of people because I want to keep everything flowing. All right, who is that? Old Dirty.
Not gonna drop.
Old Dirty. Yes, a lot of stuff going on in the background, brother. What's happening?
I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, hold on.
I'm gonna try to come back up.
Okay, Dirty. All right. Let's get the Fudge. The Fudge, unmute your microphone. All right. The Fudge. Wait, let's try Life with K. The Fudge ain't saying nothing. Life with K. Okay, she ain't saying nothing. Man, y'all listen. Man, come on. That's the only thing I don't like about this. People come up and they ain't ready to chop it up, and y'all slow the game down. All right, let's get Juju So Wavy. Let's get Juju So Wavy. You ready, Juju? Hey, Juju, how are you, bro?
I'm all right. I can't complain.
My man, hop on camera, Juju.
No, I can't really hop on camera at the moment. I'm kind of on the road, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can talk on the phone, you can hop on the camera, even if you're on the road. You talking? Well, so hop on.
It ain't gonna work because it's dark, you know. I mean, you won't see me anyway.
Oh, all right. Now, what's on your mind, Juju?
Well, like, you know, I'm Haitian American, born and raised in New York City, man. And I just don't like or appreciate how you've been, you know, talking about our people. You know, I don't appreciate it at all. Cause
like what? Like how? Like how?
Like you just did, generalizing, you know, our people.
What did I generalize? What did I say?
After we done looked out, after, you know, we supported your documentary or whatever. You know, you even made money off of us. You know what I mean? And now you turn around and just talking crazy about us.
How'd I make money off you?
I don't appreciate that at all. I think that's some real treasonous, you know.
Slow down. That's why you didn't want to get on camera. See, when they don't want to get on camera, it's going to be some crash out. You're not going to crash out. Slow it down. Because I'm asking you, you're not going to vent like a woman. All right? You're not going to vent like a woman. You're not just going to be talking and just saying some bullshit. Everything you just said was bullshit.
Nigga. Get on camera, nigga.
And you're not going to talk over me.
And you're not going to talk over me.
If you say something, you stand on it. You just said, I ain't make no money off you. You ain't got no money. All right? I didn't make no money off you. You don't have no money, so that's why you're over here. Let's get that straight. Let's get the narrative straight. The hell you mad at me for? I'm reporting a story about your fellow Haitian getting caught scamming. So how's that talking bad, sir? I didn't make the woman scam. Y'all get mad when somebody point out your damn ethnic scams. And I'm talking bad about, don't scam. Don't come over here stealing money. The hell you talking about? Juju, hop on in, sir. Y'all hate when somebody point out your damn scams and we're not letting your scams fall up under blackness. No, you're not gonna dump your scams on us. Don't scam.
I mean, lately, you know, you take every opportunity.
No. Let's cover every one of your lives. How you mad at me? Your fellow Haitian came over here and scam, which a lot of them do. They came over here and scam. Now, why you mad at me? I didn't make her scam. Huh?
A lot of people scam. A lot of your people scam.
Yeah, and we had to eat that, and we had to eat it, and you gonna eat yours too. We eat our scams, and you eat yours too. We ain't gonna eat yours. You ain't gonna dump your scams on us. We're responsible for the scammers in our community. Be responsible for your Haitian scammers, right? Huh?
Why do I have to be responsible for what somebody else does?
Yeah, that she's your fellow Haitian.
Okay.
And you just said we scam. Yeah, we do. And we got to take the heat for it. You're gonna take the heat for your scammers too, sir. Yeah, I don't. When she became a member of Congress, she was Haitian, yelling at the top of her lungs how Haitian she was. Now that she got caught up in a scandal, her career is dead. Oh, we black. Oh, look how they doing the black. No. The Haitian pride. That's what we're saying, right?
How often you call out your scammers? You know,
all the time.
And why do you single out Haitians specifically?
No, you singled yourself out when you were winning. No, y'all were the ones yelling about Haiti. When y'all win, boy, y'all pull a Haitian flag out at the drop of a hat. Like there's a basketball player. He won a playoff. Nobody even knew he was Haitian. This dude pulled a Haitian flag out of nowhere. Like, hey, shout out. This is a win for Haiti. I'm like, okay. When y'all win, y'all make sure to let people know you're Haitian, sir. And that's fine. When you take a loss, still be Haitian. Okay?
Well, what's the problem? What's the problem with celebrating you know, when we get a victory?
Keep that energy. That's the problem. We want you to keep the energy.
So, I mean,
keep the energy. That's all we're saying. Yeah, if you want to celebrate being Haitian, keep that energy all across the board. Be Haitian. No. Don't stop being Haitian when you down bad now. When you do something scandalous, now we all black. We all in this together. No. Keep being Haitian.
How often you ever did anything for the Haitian community?
I'm not Haitian.
Has Haitians ever asked you to do anything for us? Like,
I'm not Haitian.
Are you serious, bro?
I'm not Haitian.
Yeah, exactly. So what is your beef? You acting like we out here asking you to come.
Who said there's a beef?
Come save the day. Like,
who said there's a beef?
I mean, you sitting up here talking crazy about us as usual.
No, I'm not.
You know? Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You're highlighting.
There's a major media story right now with somebody who's in the Congressional Black Caucus, which I don't like that either, because there's a bunch of non-FBAs in there doing grimy shit, and we don't like these people misrepresenting us. That's what we're saying.
There's also a positive story about Haitians too, and did you cover that? No.
Like what?
So you chose the negative one.
It's
a major you did that story intentionally because you got a gripe with us for
whatever
reason. I don't know what.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Come on, man. Let's be serious, bro.
No, I don't. No,
everybody sees it. Everybody knows it.
What gripe?
You know?
What gripe was that? Sir, in fact, I did a movie. Now, you want to talk about what I did for Haitians? I've done a lot for Haitians, actually. I'm not. No, I make money off myself. How I make money off Haitians? You ain't got no money. It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. What money? You don't have no money? What money? What money did I make off you? The films, they show my films down there in Haiti, but they show it for free. I don't make no money when they show it down there. That was a gift to them. They show my movies down there in Haiti and in Florida. I don't really make no money when they do that. So what money did I make off Haitians? Explain.
So you didn't make any money off your document?
I did. Yeah. That's my work. That's my production. I made money off my production because I spent my money
based on our history.
No, based on history. Period. Nobody owes you something for some history.
No, I never said you
nobody owes you. Yeah, nobody owes you for my interpretation of history.
You owe us some respect.
No. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. I respect Dessalines as far as what he did historically. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
I respect Dessalines. No. Hold on. No. You ain't Dessalines. You ain't got nothing to do with Dessalines. I respect Dessalines, what he did, his grind. That was some gangster shit he did. That's my interpretation of history. I don't owe you that from my interpretation of history for a movie that I funded with my own money. Yeah, I made money off my own money, sir, off my production skills, off my narrative, sir, not you. Do you understand that?
Oh, I never once said anything about me. I said I mentioned my people and my issue.
Yeah, I didn't make money off them. I didn't make money off the people over there. I made money off my production, sir. That's what I made money off of. I don't owe you nothing. You didn't help me with no film. You didn't help me financing or nothing.
Like I said, you
didn't help me with the production or nothing. That was my money, sir. That was my money. Me flying back and forth and all the filming, and I spent over $1 million of my own money to make that film. It was a very successful film. I'm very proud of that film, and a lot of Haitians like that film. That was a great.
Take your money and leave us alone, bro.
No,
like
ain't nobody messing with you. You over here. You over here, sir. Come on, leave you alone. Don't bring your ass over here, become a part of the Congressional Black Caucus, start scamming, and then holler about they tripping on us because we
you're
black.
not helping. You become
No, don't bring your ass over here scamming. Ain't nobody messing with you. Don't bring your musty ass over here scamming. You here.
You've been scamming out here. You scamming these black people today.
That's a projection. That's a projection. Y'all love projecting your scam mindset, sir. That's you projecting, ain't it?
Well, you're the wrong one to be talking about scamming.
Yeah, I'm the right one. Bro. I don't scam nobody. That's a projection. That's you and your fellow tether down there scamming people out of millions of dollars and getting caught up. And you mad because we pointed out and won't let you default onto blackness. Y'all love projecting y'all scam mindset onto us. We don't want you to dump your scammers on us.
Who's y'all? Who's y'all, bro? That's one person.
You and fellow tethers, sir.
Oh, you call out the scammers on. Call out the FBA scammers.
Yeah, we
you
call
got a lot of them.
Yeah,
you got a lot of them that's undermining your own people.
Who?
What do you mean?
Who?
Just look at the highest court.
Who?
Come on, man.
Yeah, you can't even name them. I can name yours.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that mammy down there scamming folks, scamming. That don't help us.
Okay, we don't want y'all coming over here and exploiting us.
Ain't nobody going there. You ain't even going there. You ain't going to Haiti. You ain't going to Haiti. Ain't nobody going to Haiti, and you ain't going.
What do you mean? I always go to Haiti.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You know you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Should I show you my passport?
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You sitting your ass up in New York chilling. You ain't going nowhere, sir.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going over there scamming. Ain't nobody going over there exploiting nobody. When we go over there, we help people.
Okay.
Huh?
And the last time you been to Haiti was when you did your little documentary, man.
It wasn't a little. It was a big. It was a big documentary. It was very popular.
That was the last time. That was the last time you've been there. So I don't know.
Yeah. It was the last time I've been there. So what? So what? I ain't got no relatives there. What else am I going for? Huh?
Yeah,
But your ass,
you move like a colonizer. You come through, do whatever you got to do. Make
your ass is. You
move like a colonizer.
Your ass is over here though. Yeah, you ain't. I went to Haiti, helped the people out, and left. Came back home. I didn't exploit nobody. I actually helped the people. I actually gave them something constructive without exploiting them. They show my movie in schools down there. I actually donated thousands of dollars of money to some of the schools down there. I gave water filters to some of the people. I went down there to help people. I ain't like you. I ain't over here exploiting people and trying to dump trash on the native population. I'm not doing that. Like you. And wagging your damn finger telling us we shouldn't call out your damn scammers because we don't want them dumping that shit on us. See, family, this is why they don't like delineation. This is why us delineating, because they like to delineate on their own terms, ladies and gentlemen. They love delineating from us, but they hate when we delineate from them because now when they do all these scams, they got to hold their own nuts. And I can go even deeper. Your other, when you want to go into some other scams, Pras from the Fugees, he just got sentenced to 14 years for scamming. We can really go there, sir. I can name some of your big name scammers.
I can name some of yours too. So what, man?
Who?
Come on, man.
Name them this week. Come on, y'all got some big name scammers. Yeah, Pras.
I'm pretty sure y'all do too.
And by the way, Pras from the Fugees. And by the way, and Wyclef is my guy. I love Wyclef. Wyclef is my brother. But Pras from the Fugees was up here doing some scamming, They then gave him 14 years. He was up here finessing money and doing all types of weirdo shit. Now he got caught.
You want to talk about weirdo, right?
Yeah, weirdo. Yeah.
Your boy R. Kelly's a big weirdo, but you don't see me out here. You don't see me here out here, putting that on all FBAs. But you and y'all like come on here and generalize all Haitian people based on a few.
All right, well, you R. Kelly.
All of us, we ain't all scammers, man.
The fact that
you out here painting. I don't know who you working for.
The fact that you got to dig back a decade to find a scandal, that shows a lot, sir. This guy's been in jail for damn near 10 years. Okay. The fact that you got to dig back 10 years to find something, and I can point out something today.
It's beneath me to do that.
You got to go back 10 years to find something on us, and I can point out some of the scams y'all done pulled today. That says a lot, sir, right? That says a lot, don't it? Yeah, R. Kelly is not in the news today. That was a damn near a decade ago. Right?
On, man. This is beneath me. I could point out. We could do this all day, but it doesn't behoove me to do that.
You can't do that because at the end of the day, your ass is over here. You ain't in Haiti. That's the bottom line.
Okay, so what? People immigrate.
Right, and when you immigrate, sit your ass down.
At the end of the day, most Haitians are in Haiti.
And when you immigrate, sit your ass down and shut the hell up. That's what you do. You ain't at liberty to wag your goosey, musty finger at nobody. When you immigrate to somebody else's joint, sit your ass down and be quiet. That's what we're saying to you. You feel me? Come on, Juju. That's what we're saying to you. Y'all come over here, y'all flee, and then got all that damn mouth. Shut your ass up. That's what we're saying.
I didn't have a choice. I was born here, bro. So stop.
Anchor baby. Anchor baby. I'll let Anchor baby.
No.
Anchor baby battle. Anchor baby, and you're welcome, because it was us. If it weren't for that 14th Amendment that foundational Black Americans fought for, you'd still be eating dirt cookies and soursop over there in Haiti, sir. So yeah, you're welcome. Okay? So watch your damn mouth. Don't come in here with none of that energy towards any foundational Black Americans if you are anchored here. We ain't having it. And tell your tethers to not drop their scams on us. If you want to come over scamming and finessing, yeah, hold on to your ethnic identity.
Nobody does it better than you, bro.
No, that's a projection.
If we're scamming, we learn from the best of them. We learn from you.
No, we ain't doing all that shit you're doing.
Yeah, you pimping. You doing worse.
No, who? Oh, y'all the worst at that. Y'all the worst at that.
You was out here pimping. So listen, I ain't never pimped a day in my life, bro.
Well, me and your mom. What does that mean? Your mom got to do with anything?
Oh, yeah, right.
Right. What does
never in a million years if you knew my mom.
Yes, it was. That's the only hoe I had. That I pimped that crooked wig off that hoe. That's the only hoe I had.
Yeah.
Who else? What other hoe I had besides your mama?
No, your wife.
No. Your mama was my wife. I was pimping the wig off her ass. Huh? That's why she had to come over here and drop off.
Go ahead, man. This is beneath me, man. I'll let you go ahead. Do your thing,
don't try to troll out now, because you feel bad about being a fleeing tether. Don't try to troll out now. All right.
So you saying I'm fleeing? I ain't fleeing nowhere.
Yes, you did. You were fleeing.
I was born here.
You're a fleeing anchor baby, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead, man.
There you go. All right, now go back driving that truck and tell your mama I said she still owe me money. All right. Come on now. These tethers get mad at you scamming, and you get mad at us because your folks are scamming. The hell you mad at us for? Because we point out your scams? Y'all not going to do that. No, you want people to know. When you were winning, you wanted everybody to know you Haitian. You running around with the Haitian flag. When you making political milestones, you wagging the damn flag. You winning, you waving the flag. You let us know how Haitian you were, and you weren't us. Okay, now that you done got caught up in a scandal, keep waving the goddamn flag. Keep on waving that flag. We ain't letting people dump their trash out on us no more. This is why they hate delineation, ladies and gentlemen. They hate delineation because now they cannot dump trash on us. We are pointing out their ethnicities when they get caught up in scandals, when they're out here scamming, stealing, finessing. We are letting people know, hey, this ain't us. Well, y'all be doing it too. Yeah, but when we do it, we have to take responsibility. You're going to take responsibility for yours. Yeah, and don't try to troll out and all that lying and trolling, no, because you ain't got no argument. You ain't got no damn argument. That's what tethers do. When they ain't got no argument, they just start. They resort to lying and trolling. That ain't gonna work here, sir. I troll right back, and then hit you with facts, sir. That's what we do. All right, man. Yeah, we got to take responsibility. When people in our lineage do something janky, we have to take accountability for it. Yeah, the stigma falls on us. Like out there in Chicago, them kids out there jumping on that mother. Yeah, we have to take responsibility for that. That's a stigma that falls on us. And thankfully, many people in the community out there in Chicago, many of the foundational Black Americans went up to the school and they said, no, this is not acceptable. We got to do something about these kids. So the community did take responsibility. That's what we do. We'll take responsibility and do what we need to do. We ain't gonna dump it off on other people. Yeah, we took responsibility for some janky shit that happened with some FBA kids. Then the community went up there and said, no, this is not acceptable. We're gonna have to make some changes up here. This cannot happen again. Yeah, what they do all this janky shit and then they gotta pawn the stigma off on us. So they ain't got to take responsibility for it. Hell no. Because I ain't got nothing to do with that. No shit. When she went in, y'all got something to do with that. When she was running around here yelling about how Haitian she was, y'all was celebrating the win with her. Celebrate this damn L. Do that. Who is this? What's up, man? Whoever this is. Who is this? Hello?
Hello.
Man, no, it's too dark over there, man. Turn on a light. Who is this? Now, who is this? Yeah. Man, turn a damn light on, brother. Are you somewhere where y'all ain't got no job? Okay, get the hell out of here. The damn Prince of fucking Darkness. Just call up here with a pitch black screen. The hell you doing? I'll call up with that. All right. Let's get Jasmine in here. Somebody said they want Jasmine up. Let's get Jasmine. Let's get Jasmine.
Sorry.
Hey, Jazz.
Hi, love.
Hop on, Jazz. Hop back on.
Okay, I'm going to turn back on my camera. I'm going to turn back on.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you. So I want to say this really quickly too, right? Because you're talking about the tethers earlier from the Haitian area, and that was one of my prompts earlier.
Yeah.
One of my AI things, if that's okay.
Go ahead, dear.
Okay, so
let's stop playing dumb. Sarah Rector was a foundational Black American girl, Creek Freedman descent, born on American soil, made a millionaire off the land her ancestors were forced to accept after slavery. But in Sarah's oil, they cast Nia Desire Johnson, a Haitian American actress, to play our legacy. That's not inclusion. That's a hostile takeover in a silk bonnet.
Yeah.
We don't have an issue with Haitians telling their own stories. Tell them, fund them. We'll even support. But why does it always take a tether to step in and embody our pain, our soil, our story? While we get told to just be happy to be included. We cast an FBA girl to play a Haitian icon, they'd riot. But when it's our legacy, it's open season.
Oh, yeah.
That's not diversity. That's displacement. Y'all not just playing dress up. You're standing on graves you didn't dig. And it's time somebody said it. You are not us. And you don't get to profit from our inheritance like it's a damn costume party. Keep your passport. This story belongs to the soil.
That's that. I wanted to make sure I said that respectfully. You guys are not us. You guys keep trying to cosplay us. A tether is a tether is a tether in any variation of that. You're a Caucasian tether. You are a South American tether, a Caribbean tether, a Guyanese tether, a Siberian Husky tether, period. And I feel like when it comes to these people that keep trying to destiny swap with us, you guys are not about that life. I want to say that very respectfully. and I got kind of like sidetracked with all of this tetherism that was going on. But you Haitian tethers in particular, you guys did not free United States American, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, Bella Geeches, Trios, freaking Mississippians, Chicago Mississippians, California Mississippians, Atlanteans. Like, you are not about that freaking life. So Haitians, go back to your spelling freaking countries that, you know, because you guys are like part of the Latino community, whatever, right? Dominican Republic plus Haiti, you guys are the same coin of tetherism. Stop trying to claim our heritage. Stop trying to tether onto us. And we are not going to take any disrespect when it comes to our leaders, our founders, our scientists, our mathematicians, our athletics, our freaking beautiful, just like freaking models, whatever. You guys with your big freaking foreheads and your flip-flopping flings from your freaking spelling countries, you guys go back there and stop trying to come over here and take away from our heritage. We are FBA. We are FBA. That's all I want to say.
There you go. Thank you so much.
And also, Ken Vader, I love you, babe.
There you go. Shout out. There you go. Thank you so much, beloved. Oh man, real talk, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Jazz. Let me give her a round of applause. Round of applause to Jazz.
All right, y'all, I got to end it now. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all staying on late with us or morning into the afternoon with us. Join us later on for Frontline Black News, Season 6, Episode 1, Part 3. So we'll see y'all then. So appreciate everybody that came in. Appreciate you, crew, for coming in. Appreciate Lady Che for sliding through. Appreciate Breeze for coming through. Mr. Ishmael. Who else is in here? Mac 285, Twin Pyramid. I think that's everyone. Anybody else peeking and not speaking. So peace, love, light, reparations and separations and Black empowerment. Chain Krumah signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. I'll be live again for City Council in about 30 minutes. So I'll see y'all then. Peace.